Now, I'm not assuming that this person is going to do something nonsensical themselves. Now,
They could
do, but that's a risk. It wouldn't matter whether it's middle of the day or middle of the night. If they're going to do something nonsensical.
I'm not talking about her either.
So if we eliminate that, because I'm assuming that she's not going to do something nonsensical. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my assumption. So then I do the second assumption. My boys are not going to do anything nonsensical. I'm not going to do anything nonsensical. And then it goes to the last hurdle. Am I going to make up this person's mind, or is she an adult that can make up her own mind? And that's where I disagree with you guys. Let them make up their own mind.
You have to understand, we are now living in the time of Wakanda. We have to look after each other.
Yeah, and the women are strong in Wakanda. And the thing is that in
I will now strip you of the power of the Black Panther.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. Hashtag ESN pod, at ESN podcast on all your social media. I hope you're all doing well. I am Stavros Boss, and next to me, who apparently is ready, we have Mr. Wolf, and we'll discuss the wolf name momentarily.
Why? Why are we going to discuss the wolf name?
Speak to the people, Mr. Wolf.
Flipping heck, man. What's going on, people? This week, our Yoruba proverb is as follows. If one is not within the vicinity of falsehoods, one cannot be falsely accused.
Yeah, I hear that. Interesting.
Yes, of course.
And we also have the actor.
Live your life so that fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble none about his religion, respect others, and respect their views, and demand they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and of service to your people. When your time comes to die, do not be like those whose heart are filled with fear of death, so that when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time, so they may live their life in a better way. Sing your song of death, and die like the hero going home.
I know that film.
Bro, you look like a reader from the Bible, man.
Go forth to love and serve the Lord.
Isn't it? That's
Amen.
what you thought the Bible reading, isn't it?
Amen.
I know the film.
You know the film?
Back to the Future.
Nope.
Are you being serious?
I know it's not Back to the Future. Fuck's sake.
Good grief. Man, and I want everyone to know that this dude has a notepad, handwritten. Like there's no internet and phone. He went and hand wrote that thing.
I'm have to learn this monologue, that's why, so I hand wrote it.
I think it's better to, when you write things down, it's better to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
Much better.
And I'm assuming that you said it the way how it is in the film.
Said it how it isn't the film.
Yes, I ain't no Bible rendition.
No, he sounded like he was reading.
Like a
It
pastor.
clearly sounded
He sounded like he was reading.
No,
I was waiting for the wine to come round.
A pastor would have some passion. Do you want to actually say hello instead of just your reading?
What's going on, people? It's your boy, the actor, up in the building. How's it going?
What film is it then?
That's from Acts of Valor.
No idea what
I knew it was no film. I've seen
Why
it before.
not pick a film that we know? Damn it.
Then y'all gonna need to watch some more films in your life.
It's not the films. You know what it is? We watch a lot of films. It's just like there's some core films that need to be seen, innit?
Acts of Valor is a very good film.
I would like you to do a film that we've seen.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
We also have Simple Simon in the
I
house.
don't know what you've seen. Though.
Yes, yo, Simple Simon Badea. Oh, I got one next proverb, innit? Yes, Jesus Christ.
You got the comedy ones.
It's every mickle make a muckle, every muckle make a dime. And that means basically loads of small things add up to big things.
Is that the small thing is the phlegm in your chest?
Bro, I don't know what happened to me.
You always
King
has
Flem, bro. You are King Flem.
I don't know what happened to me, bro.
Your
Every
middle
time-
name is Flemish.
Every time I come on this microphone, I get a little raspy in that.
Raspy.
as the Najas will say, kata. You have kata.
The Jamaican Jada. All right, and we also have Big Wahala.
What's good, people? Big Wahalas in the building. What's going on?
All right, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in. Once again, hashtag ESN pod, at ESN podcast on all your social medias. Use the hashtag to talk to us and discuss things. We will talk back to you. You don't have to cry if I say something that you don't like.
Plug.
All right. Wahala. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. Okay.
Just carry on saying what you're saying.
Yes,
I'll just cut
it.
it out anyway.
Goddamn 47.
Fuck, what do you want CD for?
What was it that we were talking about just before we got here? I mean, on the messages that we said we will save it for. Okay, this is it. All right. So we'll start off with this first because I think it's interesting. We've had a meeting a few weeks ago. We posted it up on the social media, and one of the things that our promotion section, i.e. Mr. Wolf, came up with is that around sometime we're going to try and get some more guests in. We also want more women, and definitely to have their voices, and the discussions that we're talking about, we need a female opinion sometimes. So we started off going down that road, and I've tried to bring some people in, and I had a discussion with somebody online on Twitter a few weeks ago, and it was just something she mentioned about not inviting children to a wedding or something like that. And I was like, have you been married? And she said, yeah, I've been married and we didn't invite any children. I said, cool, whatever. I realized that she's a vlogger, and I asked her, would you be willing to come onto this podcast? We don't have the super amount of listeners or whatnot. She said, no, that sounds interesting.
She's actually married.
Yeah, she's married.
Continue.
What does that mean?
Continue.
Okay, all right, and yeah, okay, cool. So she said, yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. She said she'd be up for that. I sent her the link. I said, this is what we're about, yada, yada, yada. Unfortunately, we record, I did inform her we record at, some random times, and very last minute, I might only be able to tell you a day or two in advance. She's like, cool. I won't tell you what more she said, but she said, cool, in essence. And then I've been asking if she can do it, and there's multiple times she said, a bit busy right now, blah, blah, blah. But I asked her to come on this episode. Now, we're recording after 11 on a Friday night. What time is it now, actually? Simple?
It's
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
10 to 12. So, midnight on a Friday night, we've just started.
It's damn near
recording.
Saturday. Goddamn. Right?
And I told the guys, I'm going to invite the lady tonight. You guys cool with that? And Mr. Wolf and Big Wahala had their opinion, and I'll let them say it for themselves.
I basically said I have no problem with the lady being on the show. However, I'm not comfortable with the time.
And Big Wahala?
I also said I have no problem with her coming on the show, but I think that is an inconsiderate time to be inviting a lady to meet 5 men they've never met before.
Yeah. So, like I said,
behold a lady.
Yeah. So, like I said, just met this woman on Twitter. I've never seen her.
You haven't met her?
Yeah, that's what I said. I met her on Twitter. I didn't meet her in real life. Jesus. So yes, I've never spoken to her on the phone. We've only messaged inbox, and I've never seen her in the flesh, etc., etc. So she doesn't know any of us, and she only knows of us because I messaged her. So it's not even like she was some big fan or something before, and she'd be happy. So the guys are saying that I shouldn't invite the woman past a certain time. And my opinion was, all right, so I get what they're saying, that it might feel, the woman might feel overwhelmed or intimidated, especially coming to a room full of 5 guys that she's never met before.
5 strangers.
Yeah, 5 strangers. And I said, first of all, she knows that she's going to join 5 strangers because that's the dynamic of the podcast. And secondly, I would let the woman make up her own mind. If she's saying that's too late, I know where you guys record because I've told her, and I'm cool for doing it before a certain time, that's all right. But 12 o'clock on a Friday night, nah, I'm not about that. She can say that herself, or she can say, no, I'd rather do it another time. She doesn't even have to, if she doesn't feel that way, that, happy about coming at 12 o'clock, she doesn't even have to say that. She could have said another time.
Yeah, she could.
Yeah, so for me is, because I know Big Wahala does this a lot. I don't know about Mr. Wolf, but my brother, I know he does this. What you'll do is you'll make up your mind on somebody else's behalf. So I don't disagree that it's not the best time to invite somebody, but this is the time we're recording. Yeah? All right? You'll make up the mind on somebody else's behalf. This is not a good time for them. They might feel intimidated, so I'm not even going to invite them.
Yeah, but it's not just their behalf, isn't it? It's also my own behalf.
Why?
I already said I would rather not do it at this time of the night with somebody that I don't think knows us, and I just don't think it's the right. I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, why?
So whether or not it's on her behalf, it's also on her behalf. I don't think that I would ask somebody at this time of the night to come and meet 5 men as strangers. I just don't think it's the right thing to do.
Why? I'm
because
confused.
we're 5 strangers. Whether or not I know I'm safe, whether or not I know that all the rest of you lot are safe, this person doesn't know that. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not the right thing to do. I don't think somebody should be going to meet 5 men they don't know in a place they're not familiar with past a certain time where we're even looking things up they can't even see out. It's
can't
like
even get out.
It's even snowing outside. It's long, man. It's not the correct time to do it.
Well,
that's for me.
Wolf?
I co-sign that. You know what I mean? We're in a vicinity where you can't get out.
Yeah, I look after.
And the only way that you can get out is if one of us let you out. And then on top of that, I'm putting myself in her man's shoes as well. If I had a woman who was going to meet 5 guys in this kind of circumstance, I won't be comfortable with it.
No, and even as for me, again, it could be seen as a misogynist thing. It could clearly be seen as that.
That's the direction I'm going to go down in a minute.
Yeah, but I would also say it's for a young person as well. So, but as I said, it could be seen as a misogynist thing. But maybe it's the wrong way that some women say that men should protect women. But this is how I would see it as I was protecting that. Even though I don't know her, I would say to her, I don't think that this woman, because it's not just coming to meet us. She could be. I don't know how she's getting here in the middle of the night. She could be getting on public transport. I wouldn't want my woman to be getting on public transport at any time of the night to go and meet 5 mans. That's me personally, innit? I don't think that I would like any woman that I know, friend, or in relation or anything like that.
Her husband should really pick her up.
Whatever. He might
still.
not drive. That's not my concern exactly. My concern is her coming to meet us, and I wouldn't want her to put her in that predicament to come at this time of the night. So that's just on me. I would prefer to say, you know what? I can invite you at a better time.
Yeah.
It don't have to be at this time of the night.
Stavros, have you no decency, man?
So simple. You agree with who?
No, my thing is this, yeah? If you are inviting her to a recording that's going to happen from 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
you know that we don't typically start bang on time.
Yes.
So you know that that's moving to more towards 12.
Yes.
What time is she going to be leaving? That's my concern.
Probably 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's my concern. That's where my concern comes
Okay,
in.
so it's the same issue then.
I think it's impolite to ask somebody to do that.
No,
How
but-
many
okay,
times have you asked her?
Doesn't matter.
No, it does.
Why?
Because perhaps she's politely said no because of the time. And maybe if you asked her and said, you know what, we're recording at 7:30, she might be saying, yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm on
okay,
it.
there were times we were recording early-ish. And I've had this discussion with her. I've told her that we record late. She said, yeah, with her own thingy, late is fine. Late weekdays is cool. I'm cool with that.
Maybe
Weekends,
it's not
like
fine.
weekends is more of an issue.
Some people think
No.
late is 9
No, I've
o'clock.
told them because I know when we record, I know the issues. I gave the 2 stipulations, the important ones. 1, we record late, and 2, that is very short notice. We don't have a set day and we don't plan it weeks and weeks. Hold on, let me finish. I had this discussion with her. We even had the thing where I said, you tell me the latest time you're comfortable with. Because as a gentleman, I ask, I don't assume. And I asked her, what time are you comfortable with? And she gave me a time around, because I told her, the time you will start, you'll probably finish around 3 hours after that. So you tell me what time you're comfortable with, and I won't bother asking you after that.
And they said
I believe 11 o'clock was the time.
Okay, that's fine.
But
I still don't think they should. Whether or not.
But they've said it with the
Okay, that's fine. But you didn't tell us that, did you?
Yeah, but even if she hadn't said that,
no. If you told us that they said they'd have no problem doing it late, they said it's fine, then I wouldn't have even mentioned it. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're giving somebody a time to come somewhere, like there was somebody that I invited or planned to invite to the podcast, and they've got their own space somewhere, and I said to her, "Well, look, there's 5 of us here, right? You don't know any of us at all. Would you prefer it if we came to your space and did it there?" And they found it. They was like, "Yeah, that would be much better for me." And they found it. How can I put it? They found it grateful that I had mentioned that situation because of the fact that obviously they're dealing with 5 strangers, so it's better they're at least in their space where they feel comfortable. This one's not.
that
even
might
gonna-
not have been the reason. That might be I just don't want to travel,
Wait,
or
sure.
I know
Well,
this.
the
place.
reason I said it was because of that.
Yeah, but
I
that
gave
might-
that a particular reason. So if they had another reason, it didn't show from what I.
If you guys just want to perpetuate the fact that you can't trust black men and we're gonna rape and
You can't trust any man.
thingy, then whatever.
It's not about that, yeah?
That's because that's what I asked the man. Are we gonna rape her? What's the problem?
Yeah, but
But it cannot just has to be us. That's what I'm trying to say.
Simple.
it's about good practice, isn't it? That's what it's about. It's about good practice. Because I'm sure if any one of us here and a female member of our family that we consider to be young,
Exactly.
and
Hold on, this is
even
a married
old.
woman.
Or
You
even
forget
old.
this young.
Yeah,
I don't care what.
I don't care what old
or old, and they
Female
turn
member,
around,
period.
and they not even they. Let's say they didn't even say. Let's say we just found out that they were, even contemplating going to go and do a recording with 5 people that they've never met before, spoken to once on Twitter. It sounds mad, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
It does
It
sound mad.
like.
But the
If
thing
my
is,
sister's a grown woman.
yeah.
She's my younger sister. She can look after herself.
Yeah.
But if she was asked to be put in this predicament, I would have concerns.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
It's-
looking
it's-
out for somebody else's well-being.
But
Even if I don't know, I'm not saying that you're not.
How are we not looking out for her, though?
But I'm saying that we're not. As far as I can say, for me, it's not in best practice. As Simple said, best practice to
not
do
best
this.
practice.
That's for me. If
But
you think it's fine,
How are we not looking out for
if
them?
you
That's
think
why
it's fine.
you said it's only like nice to look out for people. How are we not looking out for the person? What is it we're doing that is counter to?
as far as I'm concerned, making them come out in the middle.
Nobody's making you do anything. You,
God.
no,
All
use the
right,
right words.
asking
then.
them to come out in the middle of the night when it's snowing,
Yeah.
to go and meet 5 strangers that they don't know, for me, is not something I would think is a good thing to do.
And
I
bear
wouldn't
in
think it's
mind-
best practice.
And bear in mind, we both said we don't mind, but the preference would be to do it at a more reasonable time.
Okay. For me, is we record when we record, and there's a couple of factors. We record when we record. I don't like the idea of this thing that because you're a woman you can't come out. I understand that we're 5 strangers, but I trust you guys that you're not going to do anything to this woman. I am not going to do anything. No, this is very
Keep
important.
worrying about us. I'm not saying it's not just
Yes,
us.
but then all I have to worry about is are my people going to do something nonsensical? Now, I'm not assuming that this person is going to do something nonsensical themselves. Now,
They could.
They could do, but that's a risk. It wouldn't matter whether it's middle of the day or middle of the night. If they're going to do something
I'm not
nonsensical.
talking about her
So,
either.
so okay, so if we eliminate that, because I'm assuming that she's not going to do something nonsensical. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my assumption. So then I do the second assumption. My boys are not going to do anything nonsensical. I'm not going to do anything nonsensical. And then it goes to the last hurdle. Am I going to make up this person's mind, or is she an adult that can make up her own mind? And that's where I disagree with you guys. Let them make up their own mind.
You have to understand, we are now living in the time of Wakanda. We have to look after each other.
Yeah, and the women are strong in Wakanda. And the thing is that in
I
the
will
film,
now strip you of the power of the Black Panther.
I watched that again in 4D. I'll discuss that in a minute. We are in this field where it's an arty kind of field, and we don't do 9 to 5 scheduling. That's not so. You go to studios. There's women that you hear on songs all the time, rap songs, and they have them cheap studio sessions between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. and 7 in the morning.
And a lot of them
We used to do that back in
might
the
still
day.
be hashtagging Me Too sooner.
We used to do that back in the day when we were going out overnight sessions because it was cheaper and stuff like that. People going to premieres and recording here and there and running down the street outside clubs and stuff like
if
that.
it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you.
Do you hear how your man said made it sound all artistic and stuff? Did you hear it? Like,
But this is an artistic field.
which is that?
If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. You think that is cool? You think that is cool? Would you let your wife go out like this? In that time?
When you guys said you wouldn't want your woman doing it, I said that neither would I. But I could escort her.
What man are
If
creators?
her husband, if she said, "Can my husband come?" I would have said yes. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a problem, would it?
I don't know.
It's not a problem. We don't know her. So if she said, "Can my husband come to escort me because of?"
I would have said, of course.
By all means, bring him. Yeah, he'll come.
would've
He'll
said, of
sit. We'll have a cup of tea for him. No problem.
Who's making the teas?
You made a tea for your last guest, and the last
woman.
woman came in.
Yeah, I
and
don't make tea
She
for
came
man.
late. She left
Remember,
one
if
half
you
one in the
remember that
morning.
day, I made tea for the woman. I don't even think I made the tea for Webbs. Did I make the tea for you?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
But I abused before I did it, though,
You
innit?
did abuse
Exactly.
before you did.
All right, okay. So we've gone through that
When
discussion.
you're married.
I want you people on social media to holler at us, hashtag ESN pod, and let us know.
ESN pod.
Let us know what you feel. Do you agree with Big Wahala, Simple Simon, and Mr. Wolf?
You didn't even let
He can talk. I don't have to coach him to
He
talk.
has to
Simple Simon
talk
jumped in
straight.
because he didn't talk on the inbox. So I don't know what his view is. What is your view?
It was disrespectful and unprofessional.
See, he took it.
Bang.
Wow.
Bang.
And disrespect.
Jab,
Who?
jab, hook, uppercut.
Who did disrespect to first?
Dagger.
To her and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
One time. Her husband's probably thinking, taking the piss.
Valentine
About
is
asking my
coming.
woman to come out at this time of the night
Yes,
to
our
sit with
boy.
5 man. Libby,
5
furthermore,
man?
you're not going.
5 man. I don't know about you not going.
No,
man.
I'm just wondering.
Imagine if we open up the doors and bare man on the street to see this 5 woman come out with 5 different men.
Well, that happened the
Man's
other
looking
week,
like web
innit?
slinger.
Why you not have to take it to them levels?
That happened the other week with Lady Andromeda. You know?
Valentine
Yeah,
is coming. Where's your boyfriend? You are sitting at home.
It's for me. It's just It's just not the. It's not the done thing. I don't think it's the done thing.
And I want you.
If we knew them a little bit, then I would say yeah, it's cool. But it's because we don't know that person. It's a stranger business that I'm worried about.
Yeah, there's certain women that we know that we've known for a long time
They could just come anytime.
that would come and we wouldn't. They
You
wouldn't
know.
feel nowhere. We
You
wouldn't
know.
feel nowhere, and I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. And that thing that you're talking about, where we know what we are not going to do, becomes more of a thing in that scenario. But when it's a complete stranger, nah.
Okay, all right. I like I said, I get why she would think that.
There's at least one of us that could say something that would make somebody feel uncomfortable.
True.
That they've met for the first time.
Very true.
I'm not arguing with that one little bit
Exactly.
at all. Not arguing with that.
That's why.
All right, okay, all right. Cool. Like I said, listeners, please, I want to know what your views, because I'm here with my boys, men and women. I want to know what your view is. Do you want to go down the route that women should be able to make up their own mind? Or do you want that men should make up their mind for them?
I don't know why you like to try and make
that's
it.
What it comes down to.
It's not men, because if it was a woman that did the same thing to a woman, why is it men?
Which woman did the same thing to a woman?
I said, let's say a woman could say the same thing. So, you know what, it's late. I don't think women should be walking around late.
You kept mentioning it because she's coming to see 5 men. If it was 5 different women,
she might say the same thing. Let's say that we had an agent that did our what's it called, and she said, you know what, it's past 11. She don't know these mans. Blah blah blah. I'll do it at a more reasonable time. Yeah, would you be saying that the women are making up the mind for the women? It's not just a man making up the mind for women.
Do you know how I looked at it? I looked at it like this.
It's a sensible thing.
You know, it's a sensible thing, but I thought, let me try and push this as far as I can go. And the only other thing I could think of is that you meet a woman, you get her telephone number, or you exchange numbers or what have you, and then the very next time you contact her is on the phone and it's after midnight.
Yes.
That is the same level of that kind of...
It's not even just that. After midnight, telling her to link you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same. For me, it was just... That's
this is business.
Don't matter, man.
I just think that, as I said, if you want to make it into a man thing and men are not letting her make up their mind, then if that's the way you want to sensationalize it.
You know the thing is, I see your side of the view, but I just don't agree with it.
Okay.
I understand the logic of what you're saying, but
I understand the logic of the other side as well. I just feel that let them make up their mind. I don't disagree with the fact that it might not be comfortable, but then they can say that I'm not comfortable. And I ain't coming that time.
Would you see it as a disrespect if someone asked your woman to do the same?
No. The way if I show you guys the inbox messages that we've had, or
even inbox,
or my wife was doing that with somebody else, and they said, "Listen, we record late,
down
blah
in
blah
the
blah blah blah," and what are you happy with? Then it's up to her to make up her mind.
Okay.
But I'm not. As I said,
it's weird.
It is up to the person. And when you asked me, the initial thing was, I don't have a problem with it. I just would not invite her at this time. But if she wanted to come, then she would come. So it's not a case of I'm saying that you can't come, blah, 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 blah. I'm making up her mind in that capacity. I said, if she wants to come, she should come. I would not give her this time.
We're teetering on the edge of female empowerment and at the same time, what's the other thing?
Chauvinism.
Yeah, we're teetering on the edge.
You guys are teetering on it. I'm dealing with independent, strong women that have their own minds. And
why do they have to be strong? Why can't they just be women?
Because I believe this woman is a strong woman. That's why she's gone out and she started vlogging. She's set up her own self, and I'm proud of her as a black woman.
Whether the woman is strong or not, it's still disrespectful to ask her to come out at a late hour.
Disrespectful?
Wow.
Simple as that. It's disrespectful to her.
If we knew her, it wouldn't be disrespectful.
Whether we knew her or not.
The fact
that we don't know her is disrespectful. Even if we knew her, we shouldn't be asking someone that we know, why don't you come out at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at
So
night
when Lady Andromeda came, what time was that?
It was late.
So you
it was at
disrespected
11 o'clock.
And we still had issues asking her to come at that time.
We did actually.
And it's only because I know her and she was fine with it.
I didn't have no issues. You guys have issues. If she don't want to come, she don't come.
And I don't think she came after 11 either.
I don't have. It was.
She came after 11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was later. So I don't.
When you escorted her home, make sure she got home
Yes.
safely.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf, pick up yourself.
Yes. Anyways, okay then.
Yes.
So let's move on to Anthony Joshua. Now, Big Wahala, you got the scoop on this.
Are we talking about Joshua?
Yeah, man, of course, man.
Ashua Joshua.
Because I had a disagreement with you and Wolf, but now it seems that Wolf and Wahala have a disagreement, and I want to know what it is because I have to stop you guys from talking about it.
that was
that's not what we were talking about.
What was that?
That was Monique.
It was Monique.
Okay, then we'll come to Monique later then. All right, Anthony Joshua.
Okay, so Anthony Joshua did an article for GQ, did an interview. And in the interview, he was basically talking about his niece.
Is this the same GQ with,
I don't know.
what's his name on the front?
Potentially.
Naomi and Skepta. Look in my eyes.
It's a nice picture though.
Skepta was on this thing. But is she old enough to be his mum though?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what? Which one? If she makes his mum, which one has to do ballet for the other one?
Wow.
She would have to for him.
Because his mum's older than her. Yeah. She's about 50 now. You know. Are you like banging 50-year-olds?
She looks good though.
How old is she? How old is he?
He must be about 35.
I think he's around.
Yeah, he's around that age. He's around. Yeah, or he might be slightly younger.
She's
Boy.
anti. Then she's anti. She's not mum.
Who's other her and Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett's gonna be older, man.
Yeah, I'm just shrugging my shoulders.
I met Skepta's sister a few years ago.
Bassett is
She's
good,
nice,
bruv.
though.
She's a DJ now.
Yeah,
the whole
from
family's
a long
doing bits, boy. Anyway, so
Why did you look at me like that?
Anthony Joshua was
Joshua.
basically he did an article for GQ, and then in the article he was talking about his niece and he was talking about his son, and he was saying that, you know, my son, I don't want him to be a bad boy. You know, I don't want him to be a bad boy in school. I don't want him to be like me. I wasn't a bad boy, but I was a bit naughty, bit leery. Right. So then he was talking like that, and then he was saying, you know,
Let me read the whole thing.
oh, read it then.
So a question was asked: are you a strict dad? And the response is, I don't think I'm that strict with Joseph. I don't know why, but with my niece,
No,
I'm
you need
strict.
to read the bit before.
Why?
Because the bit before is what he refers when he starts talking about his the boy thing and how he was. So there's a bit before it. I gave you two.
I don't think that's important.
It is.
Go on, then you read the thing.
I don't have to read it. You can read it
Because it's not important. The important part is what he's gonna say now.
Go on.
All right. I don't think I'm as strict with Joseph. Sorry. Find a girl with a Benz put on it. All right. Are you a strict dad? And the response is, I don't think I'm as strict with Joseph. I don't know why, but with my niece, I'm strict. I think it's because she is older, but also he's a boy. He's going to be a man's man. He'll want to spread his wings, be a Jack the Lad, build his character. But I am sure that there are things that I will be strict about. But with my niece, there is none of that Jack the Lad nonsense for her. My view is you have to be a good woman, respectful. One day you'll be someone's wife. You have to learn family morals, what it is to be a good woman. So you tell me what's important that I missed out.
Because at the beginning, before that, he was talking about. He said, I didn't get the whole part. He goes, I won't let him get away with the stuff I did at school. I wasn't bad, and I didn't get away in lots of troubles, but not at school. That was some bad reading, boy.
Bro,
I'm trying to read the tweet.
that's like asylum seeker English.
I
Bro.
wasn't bad, and I didn't get in lots of, you know, I'm trying to read it through the microphone. But yeah, he was basically saying that he was bad at school.
But that's not important. That's not important to the point.
I tell you something. To be a bit like him.
I tell you, tell me.
The important part, I feel,
Yeah,
is that he's saying...
Okay, I didn't argue with you, so I don't know why we now have to go back to that.
Anyway, let's talk about the
Are
topic.
you my brother?
So,
please.
I was saying, like, well, you know me already. You know me, I keep the same energy when it regards to this, right? If you're going to teach a boy to do something or teach a girl to do something, then you should teach them equally. In my head, it's like this, yeah? And I've been saying it from time on this podcast, yeah? Men like to hold women to a certain level of standards that they as men themselves are not prepared to match.
Conversation we just had.
What?
You're funny.
Because if we were inviting a man that none of us know, it wouldn't be a problem.
He's right. He got you.
He is.
Got you.
Yeah.
Goddamn
I don't have a
47.
problem with that.
So this is my point. You don't treat men and women the same.
No, I'm not saying that you have to treat them the same in everything. I said when it comes to... They actually use particular words, though. You do know that?
Only discriminate on a Monday.
No, but those particular words I used.
Yeah, go on then.
I said to the same standard. So the same standard I'm talking about. I'm not talking about whether or not one person can go to meet somebody at this time of the night. I'm talking about you're saying that this person has to have this type of morals. And you're trying to say that the other ones don't. So he's basically saying you can do a little bit of running around, blah. And you guys have said it on the podcast yourself. You know, I think men should go out and hunt and blah, 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 blah. Women shouldn't. But as far as I'm concerned, either you're holding each other to the same moral compass. If you think that a woman shouldn't be going around sleeping with men, you shouldn't be thinking that a man should do the same thing. If you had a son, okay,
You're wrong.
That's
but
why I
you're
don't
not
want
that
to even get
wrong.
into the conversation because I actually think it's dumb.
No, you don't.
I do. I think it's dumb that you think
okay, all right. If we go back to the previous conversation, yeah,
Let's
I
not go back to
won't
the
dwell on
previous
it too long.
conversation.
You said it's disrespectful to invite a woman out at this time of night in this situation. We all agree that it wouldn't be disrespectful if we invited a man in the same situation that didn't know us. Yeah, if it was exactly the same thing and it was a man, it wouldn't be disrespectful. Yeah,
Correct.
okay. So the point is, we hold men and women differently. Society does, and each of us do in this room as well. Now, this situation that Wahala is bang on, he has said it many times on this podcast, and I'm usually the one, Stavros, I'm saying it right now, that usually argues with him. I can't talk for the rest of the man.
I agree with Stav.
Yeah.
Always
So
have. On this subject.
Big Wahala says that you treat boys and girls. Let's stick with young children when you're teaching them. Sorry.
I was talking to Mr. Wolf. So.
Okay, you're teaching children morals and values on what they should do in lives. In particular, in this situation, how you interact with the opposite sex. All right.
Yeah. So I'm saying stuff like what you would classify. Okay, this is my thing. Let's go back to what you say is a good woman and a good man. Yeah.
All right.
Right. A lot of men will classify a good man for doing basics, but a good woman won't necessarily just be allowed to get away with being a good woman on just the basics. She will have to go above and beyond what you may classify a good man as.
I don't know about that.
I think it's the truth.
Give me an example then.
So okay, so let's say that a man then you say, okay, a good man is like Mr. Wolf tells me that some people are good men that I think are blatant cheaters and do bare things. So that's all I'm saying. They're not a good man, but he will tell me they're a good person because his barometer, they're a good person. But if I was to tell him that a woman was being the same way, like, oh, okay, this woman was cheating on her man often, but came home and cooked food for them and blah blah blah, he wouldn't tell me that's a good woman. Yes or no?
No, I don't agree with that.
You would still say we're a good woman. You would still say that a woman that goes out regularly cheats but looks after their husband.
Who was I saying is a good man that does them things?
I'm going to really say it on the podcast. I'm just going to tell you the person's name on the podcast.
You don't look like the Dalek to me.
When was this?
You said it. You say it often.
Okay.
The Alzheimer's kicking in again.
No, I think I know what you're referring to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so if there was a reverse, if that person was the woman in the situation,
If that person had a vagina,
would you classify that person as a good woman?
Yeah, they work. They're a good parent. They make money. They look after the home. They just happen to
Bang regular.
Okay.
outside of their
Outside of their bedroom.
And I'm saying if there was a guy that was in the same situation, and I said that those guys are good guys based on other things, innit?
Mm-hmm. Would you say the same thing about that woman?
we know the answer to
Just
the
answer the question.
We just want to see your face when you say it.
Probably not.
And that's my answer. And that is me. I'm done now. You lot talk about it.
My thing on this whole Anthony Joshua situation. Joshua.
Joshua.
He's not the parent of the niece. So the way the parents of the niece parent that girl is up to them. The way he parents his son is his own thing. So he can't say how I'll treat my son like this and treat my niece like this. The parents of the niece will treat the parents. Treat the niece.
I'll be honest with you, bro. You're Nigerian. You can't use that excuse. You know what? We raise all of the children.
This is true.
We raise all of them.
But
so
still,
your niece is your child.
You still have to question.
I raised my niece like she was my daughter.
Exactly.
And if he had a daughter, what he's saying is that this is how he would raise her.
Exactly. So it's a mind frame. It doesn't really matter if it's his child or not. It doesn't even matter if there was just imaginary children. He had no son or niece.
Can I just interject here?
Of course.
I remember your analogy on the difference between man and woman and also the same. Can you just run that by us again, please?
We're equal, but they're not the same.
I think it was a weight and feathers and all that.
Yeah,
business.
so I've come up with this analogy.
That's it. Yeah, I get it. I can remember
to describe it to people, the difference between men and women. So we are equal, but we're not the same. And I say, if you took a scale and you put a piece of lead on one side that happened to weigh 100 kilos, and you put feathers on the other side that weighed 100 kilos, obviously the scale would be the same. It would be level up, but it would look completely different from one side and the other. One side's going up to the moon, the other side is just this little thing on the other side. Now, no one's saying one side is better or worse. They're equal, but they're just not the same. So you don't treat men and women the same. You don't treat boys and girls the same. The same way you might say...
Exactly the same.
What do you mean?
You don't treat them exactly the same.
Okay,
but the moral compass should be the same, no? You don't have to have a different moral compass to be a man and a woman.
But, all right, no, I don't disagree with you there. But there is a difference between how I feel a man should act and how I feel a woman should act. And the reason I'm saying that, and that you, when I keep saying you cannot disagree with that, is because just a minute ago you said it's disrespectful to do something towards a woman, but it wouldn't be to do it towards a man.
I didn't say disrespectful. He said
okay,
disrespectful.
but you didn't argue.
I said it was wrong.
Okay, then fine, wrong, whatever.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
But the point is that you feel that you shouldn't treat a woman this way.
I don't.
And if it was a man, you wouldn't.
I
have an
think
issue
you should
with
treat.
It. So
you can treat every single person differently because every single person is different.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is your moral compass and what you think should be acceptable.
Well,
Hold on, let me finish.
You didn't let me finish, by the way.
Okay, finish what you're saying then.
Okay. The morals that you're talking about are applicable in the last thing. You think it's immoral.
You're answering what I was saying now. What was you going to say beforehand?
That is what I was saying, and then you cut me off.
Okay, go on.
The morals that you are talking about are applicable in the last situation. You thought it was immoral to do something that I discussed, and you gave your opinion on it. And if it was a man, it would not be immoral. I am saying that you don't treat people the same. You say, yes, everyone's different. You can treat everyone individually. But in this case, it was a man and a woman. It wouldn't matter which man or which woman it was. It's just a stranger. So I am saying that the morals that you're talking about with the children is the same. The women, you should treat them differently. They should act differently than the men.
No, I think your morals are affected by gender, I would say, because you can't have the same moral standard for both women and men. Because, for example, as a man, you wouldn't...
As a compass, not necessarily standards.
You wouldn't,
I still think you should have the same standard of respect.
But you wouldn't think it right to have women pushed out on the front line when there's able-bodied men around.
Yes.
No, yeah, all right, I agree.
Okay.
So then your gender is...
I'm not disputing with certain things. I have no problem with saying that I have no problem with claiming to be a hypocrite. I will tell you I'm a hypocrite all day long. I don't pretend I'm not a hypocrite. But what I would say is, in regards to this particular situation where we're talking about raising children, you're trying to say that one is okay to do. It's not like we're saying, okay,
it's only a sexual thing that you have an issue with.
No,
then.
it's not. It's not just a sexual thing. It's that's the big thing. It's not necessarily a sexual thing, but I think that's probably the most thing I'll say. If you're going to be telling boys that they can run around, because people are telling boys they can run around and treat girls in a bad fashion.
Are they?
Yes.
No, here's the thing now.
If you're telling mans that you can go around just banging bare girls,
yeah,
you don't. Hold on, let me finish. And it's just you and you whoop, and people do say that. Go and spread your oats. Go and bang girls. Blah blah blah. They're not even telling you to wife with them. You know. Let's go and bang.
So because a man is going to bang, does that mean that he's treating them badly? Exactly. You're just going on the assumption that a man is spreading his wings, and because he's doing that, he's treating the woman badly.
I know, but I don't think that you're giving them that. I don't think you're giving them a credence. If you're just saying to that person, go and bang them, that's all they're there to do.
I don't think any man will tell his son, go out there and bang and treat women badly. If he's okay, if a man is going
you
out
really
there,
think that you really think now you will swear on your foot that there's mans out there that's not telling these mans go bang these girls, man. They're anything girls.
Of course, there's some
and I bet
man
there's
saying
bare
that.
man that's doing that, and there's bare man that's not just doing it; they're showing it as well in their actions and how they behave.
There's no doubt, but you can't blanket everybody the same.
I'm not blanketing everybody the same, but I'm saying people like to hold women.
What are you saying? Not all men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People
not all men, baby.
Like to hold,
you know me, man.
Men especially like
some
to
good
hold
men out there.
Women to a certain level, a standard that they are not prepared to match themselves.
Do you think women do the same?
What with over women?
Over men?
I think women are just as bad as men with this. I think women also hold women to a higher standard that they would expect men, which is another bad thing. I don't think it's right both ways.
I don't know. I think when you try to create a monolithic standard that everyone has to adhere to, you ignore everyone by doing that.
I like that word.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Monolithic.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? It's like how we've learnt now in recent times that children learn differently at school. So using the one method of sitting, standing up at the blackboard and having everyone sit down and learn off the blackboard isn't efficient because not everybody learns in the same way. I think the application of the idea that you're talking about needs to be tailored to the audience. So
what application are we doing now? You boys can do what they want, girls have to be the certain way. What's the difference?
So that's what I'm saying. It's being tailored to the audience. It's not for me. It's not about whether you agree with it being right or wrong. I'm going against the idea that you can be exactly the same for the two sides. Just because of the society that we live in. Just because of...
So if we all did it though, wouldn't society change?
If we all did what?
Gave people the same standard that they should, or say to them, as a boy you should behave like this, as a girl you should behave the same way, or as a girl you should behave like this, as a boy you should behave the same way. I'm be sensible now. I'm not talking about stupid things like, I don't know, you should both piss up standing up or whatever. You know, I'm talking about things with regards to how you would see them to behave, yeah? So I'm saying to you, as a boy, you should be boisterous. You should go out. You should fight. You should do this. Because people do say this, you know.
Yeah, no, people do say...
I'm not going like to say this. This is very, very widespread things. But as a child, as a girl, you should sit down. You should make sure you cross your legs at all times. You shouldn't make sure that you talk loudly. They say shit like this to girls, you know.
Yes, but
I would
Again-
teach my daughter to not have her legs open. But anyway, sorry, bro.
But the thing is,
But you tell your boys to spread his one wide.
Why not? Because a girl is wearing a skirt.
But what if she's not wearing a skirt?
Most of the time, my girl will be
But
wearing...
what if she's not? She's wearing
She should
trousers.
be ladylike anyways. Go on, Simple Simon.
You have to remember that these standards that we adhere to are, in some respects, exaggerations of observations of nature. In some respects, yeah. And as always, mankind have kind of
Tailored it to themselves.
they've tailored it to themselves, and in doing so, you kind of corrupt the ideas, and sometimes you exaggerate, sometimes you downplay or what have you. But in reality, if we're just looking at the behavior and observing the behavior of masculine and feminine energy, if you want to call it that, you're gonna see traits that are, what's the word, symbiotic of whichever gender
All right,
is,
give me
is
some
there.
of these traits then.
So, for example, there are very, very few species of animals in nature that are doing this monogamy. For example, there's that. There is the aggressive nature. There's only a few animals in nature where the female is just as aggressive as the male, or more so. Like, this is just observation from nature. We can't do anything other than observe from nature. So,
Do you think that all nature doesn't get just because they're animals, they still themselves, they don't have, it's just all natural, that's how it is. There is no cultivating to how they behave. Yes, I said it.
So you saying lions have come up with some sort of something like?
No, fam.
The,
Do you know?
The male lions have got
Do you
together.
know?
It's like, listen, we gonna chill here while the women hunt. Yeah,
You
and,
don't know. Do you know?
And they gonna look after the children.
Do you know? Do you speak lion? Do you speak lion?
I speak Snoop Lion.
That
yeah?
actor, what did he have to say?
I was gonna say, in this social climate, the way we're bringing up our children, or the way most people are bringing up their children, there's no rhyme or reason to it half the time. You will have girls running around acting boisterous, being outlandish, and their parents are cool with it and they will allow it. And you will have boys that are being timid and sit down in the corner and not do nothing, and their parents will be cool with it.
Yeah, and getting called clitoris.
And getting yeah, exactly, as you do stuff. So it's
Double
there's no
standards.
balance in it anymore. It's like a free for all with a lot of the way these kids are being brought up, and it's a big issue because we've had this whole thing of in the day of boys need to be boys and girls need to be girls. Now it's just a big melting pot. Anybody can be anything.
I'm raising my daughter to be able to punch man in the throat, drop kick them in the chest, and cock a strap if she needs to. That's how I'm gonna raise her.
And there's enough women out there
in
that are like
standards
that
though.
as well.
Is that correct?
What do you mean? Is that correct?
In
You should
moral
be able to
standards, is
defend
that
herself.
correct?
What moral standards?
Exactly. There isn't a moral standard anymore.
Because
it's
Self-defense,
becoming-
self-defense, innit?
No,
you're
but
not
it's becoming blurred.
telling her to attack men.
no, I'm not telling her to be.
randomly.
I'm not telling her to be an aggressor.
You see that dude over there? Go punch him.
Yeah,
Go punch him in the throat.
I'm like,
Take his wallet.
Yo, that man that owe me money, you know. Go and go get his figure.
But in regard to this particular situation, he said, "I'm trying to raise them to be."
Trust
and
me,
and
daddy.
this is my problem as well. Yeah, a lot of men, especially, like to say they want to raise their daughters to be a certain way, and he even said the niece raise her to be a good wife.
What
Yeah.
else did he say though?
That's what he said.
Yeah, but he also said other things, innit?
About what?
That he's,
What else did he say?
respect and what have you.
Yeah, and respect.
hold on.
Respect.
Hold on.
All the things to become
The-
a good wife.
no, the
that
point-
was the end product.
No, but the point I'm making is
But-
that you're only taking out one section
No,
of
but
it.
the end
You have to be a
product.
good woman, respectful. One day you will be someone's wife. You have to learn family morals.
See
What
And-
it is to be a
and
good
learn it.
woman. No, in this case, I agree with Wala.
He's
learning-
he's tailoring to be a good wife.
if
What's wrong with learning family morals?
No, but he's saying family
don't know.
morals in the respect of being a good woman, and being a good woman is being a good wife. So he's teaching his. So in this respect, I don't disagree with Wala at all. I am fully on that
Listen.
flex. Like as a woman, it's not just that you should grow up just to be a good wife. It's not that all the things that you learn in life is just. Well, to be honest, in this case, it would be equal, because if you're as a man, the boisterous stuff or whatever it is, because I don't necessarily proclaim all that, but if you're telling your son, learn to run outside, learn how to build houses with sticks, learn how to fight, all of this stuff is teaching you how to be a good husband, because then you'll be able to protect your home, protect your wife, because you know how to fight. You'll be able to build something.
Or you can go out and go and
me that
behind
can't
each other.
me that can't
hunter, gatherer, and provider.
Yeah, me that can't do any DIY in the house because maybe I didn't learn how to do all them things when I was at the tree house and all that stuff when I was
Your
younger.
wife did DIY?
Not as much as me. But the point is that in this respect, I don't disagree with you. I fully co-sign the fact that you don't just cultivate a woman just to be a wife. You cultivate a good woman and a respectful woman, or
I don't
a
disagree
girl.
with that either.
Yeah, but
I don't think that
the
they-
way he vocalized it, maybe,
Yeah, I know.
whether he meant it or not, he put it towards that this girl is gonna be somebody's wife one day. So everything you're doing up from now up until then is to be a good wife.
Amen.
And people-
Amen.
Yeah,
Jesus.
so-
The Bible says, okay.
And they don't do that with the same
Because-
thing with boys.
Yeah,
They
because
don't.
the Bible says, okay, that's all I'm going
But
to say.
they don't go out of their way to train boys to be good husbands. Men don't do that.
But like I said, it could be argued, and it could be argued very successfully that the traits that you do when you're saying go out there and do this and do that
And so your
is
roles.
training to be a good husband.
I
But
don't-
what
I-
You have a
don't-
big problem with that.
what I will say,
The whole soiling, go out there and
Sow your wild
play
oats.
and play the field.
No, because his concern is valid, yeah. Because when
Don't
you're
hurt women.
when man is going out there and sowing their oats, the emotions of women is being destroyed in some cases. In a lot of cases, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say in a lot of cases. So if you are really about the protection and empowerment of our women, you can't then equally be telling our boys to go out there and just sow their real oats.
But
Let's say how we all say it as well. Go out and bang.
But
That's
here-
what you're telling your
here's-
sons.
here's the
Go
thing.
out and bang, girls. Go on and do this. Go on
here's
and
the
do
thing.
that.
It goes back to what we said on the last. Just come back again. You're making up people's mind for them. So I was in a situation before where a woman approached me and said, "I want to have sex, no strings attached, with you," and I said, "Cool." And then we did a thing, and then eventually she caught emotions. And what did you guys say? It's your fault. And I'm like, hold on, I didn't approach this woman.
You know
Like,
what?
You should know better.
All right.
You should never have done that.
I'm gonna let
Why would you do
But
something?
My
Like, what?
argument is not necessarily that. My argument is always been, and me and Simple are probably matched on this argument, is if you're saying that mans that are going out banging and doing all of this is cool, when the woman goes out banging and doing all the same thing, I don't want to hear that there's something wrong with that.
I don't think that
don't
you should
think
cheat
anybody
in a
is.
relationship. But if you're single,
No, not cheating. I'm talking about single and
no.
girls. No,
Go-
because
go
people
ahead
will be
and do
calling
your
them
thing.
slugs.
Okay, but
people will be calling them. Why are we pretending that here? Like,
can I ask?
No,
can I,
I'm with
why are
you.
we pretending?
Can
No
I
one's
can I ask
pretending,
one
bro.
question to everybody here, please?
No one's
Go
pretending.
on.
If you knew you're somebody that you liked, you saw it, so we're all single, you see the girl, whatever, in some social setting, and then you were.
I was just about to say
you,
this.
you were happy to approach her,
Yeah.
and you found out, like, through reliable sources, maybe even through her own mouth, that she's banged 50 different men in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 28 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Would that put you off this woman?
Yes. And I would
Okay,
say,
that's big
and I
one.
would say the same thing.
She's safe.
I would tell my son, my daughter, if she met a man that has banged 50 different girls in London, don't move with that man as well. I would have the same energy for both. That's the problem.
All right.
I will have the same energy for both. I don't agree with it. Period. Man or woman.
Well, then your argument, you need to like change your argument a bit, because
Why?
you're saying don't treat men and women different. Where in this case you're saying treat men the same as women, not treat women the same as men. The argument is that men can go out and have fun and women stay at home, do your thing. What you're saying is that why can't women do that? But then when
I'm
I ask
saying,
you,
I'm saying that you shouldn't do both of them.
All right. So,
I'm saying, but if you're going to do it, I'm saying keep the same energy.
simple. Would it put you off a woman that had been with 50 men?
What are my intentions for her?
You're looking to settle down at the time you see this woman, and she looks like good meat. You want to see where her head is at.
Do I know the 50 man?
You know, 25.
You don't know.
25 and a half.
You don't know.
These are the
Yeah, but you
governing-
don't know.
governing
She's
dynamics.
not going to give you a list of all the 50 men that she's
Let's
been with,
just
innit?
say let's just say that you know one.
So for me, the number of men that she's had sex with is not a problem for me.
Okay, so let's stop this. Let's
Simple,
move
you
on
won't
from the
know until
liar.
the wedding day because they've all been invited.
Say again, what?
You won't know
Simple
until the
Simon
wedding
said it
day.
doesn't matter how many people his potential has been out with.
I think,
Sorry, how many
you'd
people
be
that he's
surprised about Simple, you know. But if she did start ringing off names like the DMX song, you know the what's it called?
Keisha,
I will be Tyrone.
It's always Tyrone, isn't it? Always Tyrone there.
Long dick style.
Okay, sorry. I stopped you.
Safaree.
I was rude. I'm sorry. I should have interrupted you. You said that the number wouldn't bother you. What would bother you then?
It's the proximity of the number. So if it's 50 man that I know all 50 of them, and out of those 50, 20 of them I see on a weekly basis, I'm gonna have a problem with it.
Okay. And if
But not because of the number of the man. It's just because of the proximity.
But okay,
of the man.
like I said, the situation
That's a lot
is
of man.
you do not know who she's banged or not. She's not giving you a list of the 50 men. You just don't know. So is that an issue now? Because you might know 5, you might know none. You might know all 50 of them. You don't know.
You're going on the basis that she's a good woman. Yeah. And you're also going on the basis that you have told her, if I know these guys, you need to let me know.
No, don't put because they've just met. He doesn't know who he knows.
Oh, if he's just met her, then it's different, isn't it? But even when
I just want to know if it'll put you off.
No, the number won't put me off.
Okay,
there you go.
If you just met her and you would put you off. That's what I think. If you knew her previously,
he's making up his mind.
And
for
then
him.
eventually, no, I'm just saying I know my brethren, innit? I reckon
You're
if you
making
just
up
met
his mind
her
for him,
and that is the thing that she comes right off the bat, I bang 50 man. I can't see Simple saying, yeah, that's me. I think that if you met her through mutual discussion and you met her, you was cool with her, you was fine with her. After a while, she says, "I bang 50 man." That's a completely different answer for me.
My intention would change given the first scenario. My intention may change. So if I saw her and in that first couple of seconds I decided to myself, oh, okay, this person might be somebody who potentially can be taken seriously, and then she told me that information, I wouldn't discredit her completely. But then maybe I might be a bit ominous about taking her seriously just because of the fact that I might know one of those 50 man. Okay. Or them 50 man might be in my circle.
So you're going to stop taking a woman seriously. Okay, so that actor.
I knew you were going to pick that out.
That's what you said. I didn't say it, you said it.
I said my intentions would change.
Yeah, from taking her seriously to something else.
To possibly something else, yes.
Okay, so that's what you said. That actor.
It's a very hard question to answer.
It's not a hard question to answer if you answer honestly.
It is because of the variables.
Bro, pick up your book and start reading for your Bible, man. You're just chatting rubbish now. No, you can tell women's like a 2 man. 2 man!
2! What, in London? London?
Nah, fam.
None of them is outside London.
Nah, it's gone, man.
I don't know about that, you know. I don't know. You fucked in Wakanda? Did his name start with a T? Come on. Was it a T? T'Chaka? T'Challa?
Tyrone?
To Tyrone?
Damn, yo. You fucked T'Challa. Damn.
Go on, bruv.
Long dick style.
Wow.
That actor. Meet a good looking woman.
Tyrone, innit?
Long dick style, bro. What's wrong with you?
We'll get to that with Safaree soon.
Tyrone. Now I'm going to fuck your wife.
Long dick style. Yeah, that's what Tyrone says, but I'm Tyrone. I'm going to fuck your wife. Long dick style.
Dun, dun.
You ain't seen that?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Anyway, nah, probably not.
Why was it a hard question to answer?
He wanted to do monologue again.
You
Man.
get me?
He probably did. But you know what? On the podcast, I've always
I
said
didn't
that
even get to
men.
finish.
He didn't get to answer the
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
No, you just cut him.
Go on, bruv.
I asked him a question and you just
Answered for him.
No, he wasn't even answering these.
I thought he had finished.
He
Sorry.
said, give me your mic.
I thought he had finished. Go ahead.
Give me your girl. Fuck it, I can't even remember now. Carry on, Wolf. It's alright.
I could have swore he answered the question.
50
I'll
women,
get
sorry,
you
50
back.
men. You've met the woman, she looks good, she's pleasant, she's
You can't
making
just
you
tell
laugh.
just on meeting her
You
in
are,
one time.
you
She's
are
an
ready to
artiste.
settle down.
She's an artist.
She's an artiste.
Yes.
Oh, well, if she's an artist,
She's
then
in
you
your
have to
field.
understand she's an artist, isn't it? So you get around as
She's
an artist.
expressing herself.
I get around.
She's expressing herself.
Round and round.
Round
up
we
and
go.
down.
Big tune.
All right, then. Are you
Tupac.
sure you've forgotten?
Yeah. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Whenever you remember anything, just interrupt Mr.
I will-
Wolf.
I will
and
interrupt
say
Mr.
your thing.
Wolf.
Grab his mic.
Because Mr. Wolf is the only one that interrupts, man. Isn't it?
No, I got your back, bro. Go on, Karen.
Mr.
Anyway.
Wolf.
No, but over the podcast.
So anyway.
I've said that men need to burst, innit? I've said that a
But
number of times.
are you saying that women don't need to burst?
I am saying that women need to burst as well. But,
Answer the question.
but I would say...
So
I,
if 50 men
look,
burst on this woman that you met, what's going on?
I wouldn't have a problem.
What?
What?
You wouldn't have a problem settling
You,
down.
Mr. Sensitive, wouldn't have a problem.
I'm not sensitive.
Mr. Wolf would
Listen.
have the black light out on the first
Listen.
date to make sure there's no stains
What-
of
what
any
jizz.
of-
we need
Were
to-
any of the men better
Put it
looking than me?
just put it this way. If I'm older, obviously. If I was like 22 or 23, 25, and I've met this woman and she's banged 20 man, 30 man, 40 man, or whatever, then to me that may be a bit of a problem. But I'm a grown ass man now. I can't be on the whole idea that, oh, I want your numbers to be 4 or 5, or you got to understand that in the time that we are, everybody wants to be loved in it. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody needs a companion and a partner. And are you telling me that if you meet your soulmate and you believe that you've met your soulmate, and because you get the idea that her numbers may be higher than the threshold that you believe is too high, you're gonna just cast away based on that.
I think that if
I'm
this is at the
100%.
beginning, though.
Hold on,
Is at the beginning.
I'm 100% with Simple Simon here. If I know 40 out of the 40 man, it's an issue. If I don't know anybody,
why is it the issue then? Why is that an issue if that's your soulmate?
Why is the numbers
it's an
come down
emotional
to 40
problem for me. It will
But,
be.
but I don't
would
get it.
be-
It's your soulmate.
It
That
would
should
be,
that should be above.
bruv.
Okay, but
You
I'm
don't
saying
say
this.
it's the soulmate.
Hold on,
You just
I'm saying this.
It's an
I agree,
emotional
'cause
problem.
I'm not disputing
an
what
emotional
you're
issue
saying
there.
there. I don't disagree with. Yeah, if you met her, you know the person, you're getting along, you're then dating, blah blah blah, and it's all got to a point where it's there, and then she gives you your number. I get that. I'm not gonna stop dating you because you're giving me that number. If I meet you straight off the bat, and that's the first thing you're telling me, I'm not gonna go for you straight away.
I think anybody who has that kind of conversation in the first conversation and then gives away their numbers, I find that weird.
I find that should be a turn on.
Wait.
That should actually be a turn on.
Wait, no,
Because
question.
honestly,
I think I'm the only one here that could deal with that.
No, question. Do you have a problem with it because
A problem with what?
of problem with that being the first conversation? Do you have a problem with that because of what's it called, the construct that we live under now, or do you have a problem with it for another reason? Like, is it just so weird to what you're used to that you're like, nah, there's something wrong with that, or do you find that there's actually something wrong with that?
I think breaking the ice is fine, but I do think that there's levels to it. We were on BBC, big up all the guys that help us on there, and we were in the little lounge area.
Yeah.
And our man, the actor, broke the ice by saying something a bit weird, and we all kind of laughed at that. He broke the ice with one of the guests that were on the show with us. I can't even remember what the conversation was.
I remember,
but
very
it was,
well.
but it was just a weird icebreaker, innit? So I'm saying that if someone is doing that to break
He was
ice,
praying about natural
you
remedies
get me, natural.
for your women's menstrual cycle.
That's what I'm saying. Just
That's the
as
first
a
conversation.
conversation, which was funny.
How do you bleed?
You get me? Which was funny, but in terms of me meeting a
Oh,
woman
negative,
for
oh,
the
negative.
first time, and we're having a conversation, and then she says, "Well, before we continue, I've had 50 men." I find that weird.
No, let's say that 51.
56.
Okay, goddamn. Let's say that you met in a group setting, everyone's talking, and then the topic of numbers come up. She didn't say it in front of the setting, but you two obviously had some sort of rapport. Once you started speaking privately by the bar or something somewhere else, you said, "Well, you didn't say your number," and she said, "Well, I'll tell you if you want to know."
Rapport.
And then you asked, you said, "All right, yeah, go on then," and then she told you.
It's all about.
Would that be like is a?
I don't think. I think
you
as
said-
I was young, if I was younger, it would be a deal breaker, but not so much.
It's not if I was younger, if she was young. If she was 40 something and she had 50 man, it would be completely different than if she told me she was 25 and she had 50 man.
You slept
No,
with
yeah,
50
but that's
men?
what I'm saying.
You
If
murder.
I'm,
You're talking about
if,
your own
no,
age.
if I'm young, if I'm say 25 and I'm meeting someone that's 40, obviously, so I'm going on the basis that I'm 25 and I'm meeting someone in my similar age, innit? So
In
if
my
if
circle.
I'm in the 25-year-old bracket and then someone comes out with that, I would have an issue. But like I said at the beginning, if you're grown, you've gone through life and you've gone through experiences, you meet someone that you just hit it off with, bang, and they come out with that after the kind of scenario that Stavros has put forth. Come on, man, I'm a grown-ass man.
As I said, it all
Move
depends.
on,
That's
innit?
very interesting because
all-
I thought I'm the only one that
Nah,
could
man.
potentially.
He's an
do
old
it.
man. He's got-
And you're saying Wahala, that you don't like the idea of a woman having those high numbers and you don't like the idea of men having those numbers. Why?
Because for me, I think that I'm about not sleeping with people. Because I'm thinking about this, yeah. I'm very much about if you're sleeping with somebody, you know there's a chance that you can get pregnant, innit? Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think, that if you're going to sleep with somebody, you should sleep with somebody that if you do get pregnant, the two of you, or there's a baby that could potentially happen, you're going to be happy with that person being a parent.
Have you always done that?
95% of the time.
So no.
So
And
the
the one time,
answer is
and
no,
the one
innit?
time I felt ashamed about it. I was very. So I'm going to pretend like I wasn't. He touched his chest. I felt ashamed about the thing.
Do you know what, Wahala? Your numbers with women have just gone up again. Just
Why? Why would
they
it
just
go up?
start loving you more.
No, I was ashamed of the thing. It's not like am I lying?
No.
The man around me, was I not ashamed of the thing?
He was
I
ashamed.
don't know
of the
who it
thing.
was. So
He was ashamed. That's to show you how ashamed he was. Like he made sure the conversation never ever came up.
He's so sensitive.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go.
I just think personally that women should,
Anatomy.
I think women should be allowed to
Anatomy.
do what they want. Men should be allowed to do what they want.
I'm just
I
disputing
don't
that.
business.
I just have my own compass in it, and for me, I think that you should be protecting yourself, and that's why I don't think that people should just go out and just sleep.
And
with
you
people.
also get the whole scenario of
I like whores. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I like whores. I like it.
They're good to-
I like it. I'm sorry.
they got a story to tell when they get older.
I
all
like,
of
I
them.
like hoes, man.
But that's me, innit? Do what you want to do. But for me, for me personally, I don't go out.
why do you? I mean, you get some women.
Hoes are
who-
interesting people, man.
And I'll say some
why
women.
are we focusing on the women?
You get some. No, let me just.
When I say
let me
hoes,
land,
I
man.
mean both. I don't mean just women.
I'm talking to him.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Let me just tell my story, man.
This is my
And
story.
you can just mention a woman, and this guy's why? You mention men as well. So let me land.
Balance it, innit?
Let me land in it. You get some women, or in some stories and some circumstances, where a woman will say, "I want a man who is older than me." You know, let's say that she's 25 or 26, 27, and she's saying, "Yeah, I want a man who's 37, 38. He's gone through the things that he needs to go through. He's been through life, and he's more settled."
She wants that care in the community dick. Go on.
Why do you think that they do that?
Why did they do that?
Yeah, or why do you think that they go for men that is older who have gone through life and possibly burst as many as they can?
one circumstance could be
So you're
that,
gonna cheat on me.
that they realize that society says men should go play around, do your thing, and she's got to the stage in her life where she understands this is what men do. Most men, not all men.
That's it.
And she feels that once someone reaches their mid to late 30s and she's happy to accept somebody that age, that she feels that maybe they've probably gone past that stage. And
most time they happen, you know.
yeah, and potentially they're more ready to settle
What do you
down
mean most
at
time?
38 than 28. So even though I'm 28, I reckon the chances of me meeting a 28-year-old that's not going to cheat on me is slimmer. Not impossible, just slimmer.
Do you think there's any truth in
meeting a 30.
So you're saying that you're saying
Do you think there's any truth in
You
that?
think
don't know, I
you
don't
think
know.
that women? So
Yeah,
you're saying
That's what I'm saying.
So you're
Maybe,
saying that
maybe.
you're saying that some women might think that when a man gets to 38, he no longer wants to ride the banana.
Exactly.
No. He's
Yeah,
got all
no,
that
no,
aggressive
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
out of him.
What aggressive fucking?
The aggressive fuck that he always
Now
do.
he just wants to make
midlife
love.
crisis
Yeah,
banging.
man just want to make love.
Who-
Man's want
who
to
remembers
cuddle.
the woman
No,
that-
midlife crisis banging is among the most aggressive stuff.
True.
Because you got
And the
Proof.
midlife crisis, men go and sleep with other women.
Oh yeah, and younger women.
Yeah,
Remember-
so they go to cheat.
Remember the woman that I met at work? I think this was in the early podcast of this season.
Did she
yeah?
cook for you?
No, she never.
Go on.
And she spoke about dogs, and she has an acceptance of the way how men are.
Okay.
Can you remember that?
Yeah, I remember you making.
She basically said that men will be men, and she believes that most, not all men, are dogs. You get me? But she said the one thing about
That's the name
dogs,
of the podcast. Most, not all men.
not all men, but the one thing that she said about dogs is that dogs are loyal, and that dogs will always come home. So there are some women out there with the notion who have this feeling that men will always cheat. Some women will too, but they will always come home to what is right. What do you think about those kind of women?
What do I think about them? I think that they shouldn't take that type of nonsense.
What is the most of the two? Which is more valuable to you, loyalty or faithfulness?
That's a question.
What's
So
the
they're two-
difference?
No, they're different things.
Yeah, you tell me what the difference is.
Because loyalty, he's in.
No, simple.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, don't speak for him.
God damn, for the shit.
No, that's all right. Okay, well, I get that.
So I would say
You want dictionary definition or just
No.
Oh, from what he's
from
talking
what
about.
I'm talking about, I would say that a faithful person will be somebody that probably wouldn't cheat on you, but they might not necessarily have your back to the very, very end. Whereas a loyal person may cheat on you, but you can depend on that motherfucker to do the right thing, even though he's cheating on you.
to do the right thing, except for that.
Anyways, when you finish cheating, he will come home and bath.
I know wash the plates and cook.
Yeah.
So they're different but not the same.
They're different, but they're not the same.
Feathers and lead.
So
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Which of the two currencies is of greater value to you?
What's the question that you're asking him the same question you asked me? Or you asking him a question?
No, I
that-
was asking it to everybody, but I think you were the only one answering it.
No, because you picked me. You said, "What do you think about it?" And you pointed at me, so that's why I answered. Because obviously you think that I'm the one that would have. I don't know what you thought I was going to say actually.
I don't know, man.
I just-
I can't even
don't-
remember Mr. Wall's
Basically,
question.
he's asking what would I think about the women that are happy to stay with men that are cheating on them.
There's some men that are loyal.
That's
innit?
their choice, innit?
It's their choice. I just think it's nonsense. I don't think that you should accept it. I don't think that you should customize yourself to accept those types of
But
things.
most women always think a man's gonna change anyway.
Maybe.
And men can change. Let's not close that gate.
Oh, yeah,
or
they can
avenue.
change.
Yeah, men can change. Women
They
can
change
change
their
too.
pants, yeah, change their socks.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
All right. So to close this chapter on to Ashua Joshua and his situation with his son and his niece and the
Disrespect
difference.
to them as they.
I just want to say
And
from
for
my
them.
point of view, because I didn't explain what I feel how a boy should be raised and how a girl should be raised. I just feel that so I have a daughter, and at some point in life, I'm gonna tell her having sex with, because I don't know, we had this topic where I was just listening to the Nipsey Hussle on Breakfast Club on the way down, and somebody called up and said he found a vibrator in his 17-year-old daughter's bedroom, and he was asking for advice, and he seemed like he's gonna rub his head down. I thought, well, that's it, man. And the advice they gave her is better that is fake penis than real penis, isn't it? If she got vibrator, she's 17.
Vibrate.
Whatever. So
Vibrate higher.
I would
So-
have loved to listen to that conversation. That's
well,
deep.
it was a short one. Anyways, I just feel that I'm gonna tell my daughter, do your thing in it. Just do it with somebody that you have some feelings for, and they have feelings for you. And as long as that's some sort of foundation, that's cool. Don't do it with somebody that has no feelings for you, and don't do it with just yeah. And when it's the boy, I will tell the boy that you can have fun. Just be safe and be careful.
But
And that
be
is the
aware.
difference. And be honest. Or I always say the be honest part, which negates the thing about running around hurting people's feelings. Because I feel if you're an adult and you talk to somebody and you give them the option, then you give them an option and they should.
adults are liars,
You
though.
can
And you know adults are
Yes.
liars.
You can still
I agree with you.
you can still hurt people's
Yeah,
feelings.
they can
though.
still.
Even
they
though
can
you're
still be
being
hurt.
honest.
But-
say,
Okay, so if
but
he's
then
being
that's
honest,
that's their fault then.
if he's being
That's their
honest
fault.
and then he can still see that it's hurting her feelings, should he continue?
Gunshot. That's a wicked
I
one.
I would say that if something happens that affects him negatively, I would say that's your fault. But I'm a big believer on let big people make up their own big decision and their own big mind. So if he's telling her, I'm not serious, we're just having fun, you know, and he can see that she's growing feelings and whatever. It's his choice to go down that road. It'd be a silly choice if he wants to continue and he feels that it's all going to be gravy and thumbs up. But I'm saying that if the woman's saying, yes, I'm down for that, I'm just down to be casual, that's her business.
Hurt Bay, baby.
And vice versa.
you
Hashtag
just
hurt
say-
bay.
You just say somewhere down the line.
So hurt
One
me.
hurt
You
them.
say somewhere down the line, feelings change.
So?
Feelings will change, and be aware that feelings
Yeah,
will
so
change.
they,
Yes,
they,
I'm
they were
t-
honest at the beginning because that's what they thought at the beginning. But then
No,
2
he was
months
always
la-
honest.
No, the person when they responded back was honest at the beginning, saying that they were cool with that.
Yes.
But then 2 months down the line, their feelings then changed.
Yeah, but
then he hasn't asked the question again, so they haven't given them the answer.
their business.
But their actions, because that's what women like to show things, show a bit different.
That's
so
their
then,
bu-
as
that's
a
their
man,
business.
okay,
Serve
fair
your
enough.
blood clot right.
Fine.
That's their business.
Fine.
So,
Stop hating.
simple segued nicely into Hurt Babe.
I did.
And big. Sorry?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, sorry. It's a couple of people did then, and I missed it.
I want my
But then-
credit. I want my credit. Damn it. I'm taking credit for that shit.
Anyways,
It's simple, but I didn't hear Mr. Wolf.
yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Simple heard Mr. Wolf, so Simple said it.
Gaza.
Teeth.
So the Hurt Bay couple have come back and they're doing part 2, and he just dogged her. He dogged her again, and she went off and she's like, shut up, because he said we were never together. We only came on this thing to get popular, and
Which potentially could be true.
yeah, well, she's going on like, no, we were in a relationship. He's like, we were never even in a relationship,
And she could
we were just banging.
So
Basically, innit?
no, I watched this thing and I wanted to see whether or not this guy was just out here trying to make her look bad, and I had to watch it maybe 1.5 times, and I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, he may not actually be trying to make her look bad. He may just be telling the story from the male side of the equation, the story that we know of so often, but we only heard the female side, which is he dogged me, he did this or whatever. But from his establishment, they were in a relationship. So she probably thought that they were in a relationship, and he didn't.
So
I think it's all
the
fake,
same,
man.
It's the same rhetoric we were talking about.
I just think it's all fake. She
You caught feelings. You didn't mention it to me. I thought we were banging. You should have told me you were catching feelings.
Nah, the last one, he wasn't talking like that. So as far as I said, all of it is just a nonsense. I don't even understand why we're discussing this.
It is a full nonsense.
It's WWE at its finest.
It'll be a quick
one of them
thing.
is Stone Cold, the other one is The Rock. As far as I'm concerned, it's a mad thing. Basically, it's blatantly staged. As far as I'm concerned, this one anyway.
They're out to get a show out of it, or
Yeah, who's the one that produces it? The girl, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she lets all of the stuff in.
She tried to dig him. You know, there's a bit in it that it looked like she actually hurt him because she's like, because he was going on all cold, similar to the last one, saying we weren't together. You know, I didn't have those feelings for you. I'm happy. You know, you got it off your chest, and she got offended. He's like, well, I did it for you. And then she got offended. You did it for me. He's like, yeah, so you can get over whatever you need to get over.
Yeah,
and then she's like, well, you know, I'm in a relationship now. I'm happy. And he's like, it seemed like that tinged him because he's like, well, I'm glad that you're happy with somebody that, you know, that does things for you. And then straight away he said, you know, I was with somebody when we did the last one.
Yeah, that was a petty move.
Yeah, but man's a petty though, innit?
Yeah, but the point was that seemed like he got like,
yeah, because she tried to snake him, so he snaked him back, innit? That's
So the whole thing was in the first one. After that was publicised, he got a lot of bad comments. He got mash up. So I think it was more, if I'm coming on, I'm going to try and defend myself this time around.
Yeah, I think that as well. But I just think it's all WWE bullshit.
Yeah,
Okay,
boring,
then, so
man.
the situation is...
Both of them should get blackballed, man.
So, all right, she said she's in a relationship now, and she's recording this new thing with her ex.
That was a fantastic segue.
It was a wicked segue.
It was the best segue.
What was it?
He said blackboard. Monique. Let's go to Monique.
Oh, same.
Okay, I was
Monique.
gonna ask a question, but it's
Well,
cool.
ask your question. But it was
No,
segue.
but
I just think the segue was beautiful.
I know, I thought it was good as well.
But anyways,
I'm
it was
sorry.
so natural that he didn't even
Yes.
hear the segue.
Segue.
That's how
It's
beautiful
just-
it was.
It's just coming all over.
But
the
anyway,
place.
guys, ask your question because you started so you finish.
And you don't have to answer it. Then we can move on to Monique. But it was just, would you allow your woman to do this situation with her ex?
No, on the television.
Yeah, record this.
No.
On the television.
on the
You call me uncle, yeah?
On the computer screen.
On the projector.
Yes.
On the projector.
Oh yeah, bring me the
on this picture box.
bring me the remote.
As my uncle Sizzler would say,
Not even bring the remote.
no way.
And I can't make her do anything. I just know what I can do.
God damn.
No, it's true. I can't make her do anything.
That sounds ominous.
Why?
Because you can't make somebody do something.
Of course
Yes, you can.
Okay, well, I'm not going to force her or make her do something.
Talking about.
For me, it's gonna. I can't force her to do the thing.
And if you did, you get blackballed.
Yeah, I was just. Oh, segue. But I was. She wants to do it. She can do it. I just know that how I would react to that behavior.
All right, let's talk about Monique then.
So you'll be blackmailing her. If you do it, I'm leaving.
No, I want blackmail her. That's not blackmail. That's the truth.
That's an ultimatum.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so the ultimatum is stop listening to stuff on Netflix or stop watching Netflix and support your black women. And if you don't, then you're not supporting black women. And that is Monique's take on the situation. Where have we discussed it already?
We have discussed it.
All right, so basically, because really the initial situation was Monique, the comedian, the Oscar-winning comedian, went and got offered $500,000 for a special with Netflix. She felt that she was lowballed, that she, with all the accreditation that she has, she should have got a lot higher. Most people actually don't disagree with her. And $500,000 for one show.
Damn, that's not a lot.
Yeah, and other people are getting 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, and she figures that she deserves more.
Well, she's comparing herself to somebody that got 12 million, which is Amy Schumer, and then she's also comparing herself to Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock that I think got 60 million.
Yeah,
but they did
40 and 60.
But they did multiple shows.
Amy got 13 million.
13. So she went back and renegotiated.
So I didn't even get a mil. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so that happened. We discussed that. Then there was basically everyone discussed it. It was all over. Other comedians discussed it. You know, choice makers or taste makers or whatever they call them discussed it. And she went on to the Breakfast Club to discuss it with Charlemagne. Charlemagne gave her donkey of the day, saying that she doesn't deserve to put her name in the same situation as these other people, for one, and for two, she shouldn't throw around this thing about, because her big thing is because I'm a black woman. It's race bias and it's gender bias. And he's saying, look, women, Amy Schumer got the 12 or 13 million, and black people, the other comedians, Dave Chappelle, were getting 40, 50, 60 million. So it's got nothing to do with race. It's got nothing to do.
And Shonda Rhimes and Ava DuVernay got bare money from Netflix.
Has Ava DuVernay got money?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
also, what's that woman's name?
Well, yeah, she's gonna be the reason what I'm gonna say next. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish now.
No, not Tiffany Haddish.
Who that
the,
there?
Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes, because she's managed by the same people that Dave Chappelle and Chris Rocker managed with, and she didn't get nearly half as she got less,
The
offered
money?
less than Monique.
And she took it.
Hey, so here's my thing, right? The Monique was complaining about the $500,000, yeah? Tiffany Haddish, who is right on fire right now,
You're gonna say the wrong thing, but keep going.
800,000.
Yo, that's not for stand up.
Be careful.
What was it for?
That was for a voiceover.
Oh wow, okay.
For a cartoon for 10 episodes.
That's still a lot though, isn't it?
Exactly. So it wasn't when people. I hate the internet sometimes. I love the internet and I hate the internet in equal measures because they just saw the number, assumed it was for this thing. I just went all into it. Stab was doing it. It was like they were gonna go for. He was there.
I said
He was
this-
so primed for it. He was ready
I
for the
said
beef.
this is what other people are gonna say.
He was ready for the beef. And like these people are gonna go bad. So I was like, come straight to him and said, hey, it's not for the stand up. And he was like, oh. But
you know what, actually?
people don't take the time out to go and look.
When I wrote that, when I posted it, 5 minutes later I realized, hold on, I believed the money, but they didn't say what it was for. And I said I should have said that it was for a special. And then this black comes 10 minutes later and said it was not for a special. You know, I was like, I knew it.
And plus, she still didn't her one self-confirm the money. And the most important thing for me at this whole situation is Tiffany Haddish was happy with the money. So whatever they gave her, she was happy with it.
But anyways,
Yeah.
Monique has gone to the Breakfast Club and had it out with
Charlemagne.
and the rest and the rest of the
Breakfast Club.
the Breakfast Club. And now that is now a new discussion because she's gone there. She's
I heard she finished him.
She did finish him.
different people are saying different things.
She finished him in regards to making him look silly.
She called him what's his name?
Leonard.
That's his real name.
But so it's like me and you having a
Like
conversation.
your auntie comes in and
Yeah. Basically, that's what she did. So it's like
Listen here, Leonard.
what happened here is like me and you.
he had to correct it because she's saying
Leonard.
Leonard. He's
Yes,
like,
no, it's Leonard.
It's Leonard.
So it's like me and you having an
Sorry,
argument,
Robert, it's
yeah?
Leonard.
It's like me and you having an argument, yeah? You're right, Mr. Wolf. You're actually right. But because you're more mellow and calm, the fact that you're right doesn't matter anymore because I'm the one that's... Even though she wasn't aggressive at all.
She was passive aggressive.
I hate that word, but
That's what she was.
But yeah, but if you want to put it like that, she wasn't... As far as she wasn't being aggressive. She was very calm in the way she dealt with him. But because she was controlling the conversation and the situation, even though what Charlemagne was saying was mostly right, it looks like she was right. Does that make sense?
That sounds like my life.
Yes.
So that's what basically happened there. So the thing with me is this, yeah? Is 500,000 low? Yes, potentially. But we're all dealing with business. Why would I offer you more money when I think I can get you a low money? That's one, yeah? Two, from what I know, Netflix did not approach her. She approached Netflix with this idea of doing the special. So if you're coming to ask me to do something, why am I now giving you big money to do it unless I really want you to do it? That's two. Three, she already has shows on Netflix, yeah? She already has them on Netflix. This is what I've been saying. People, it's annoying me that we're coming out later because I've been saying it for so long and now people are saying it. It's annoying me that other people are saying it. But she's had things on Netflix already. I've watched a couple of them. They're not good for one, yeah? And they're not good. And they also have the stats to see how much people watch this thing that Monique has on Netflix. If it was a lot, then they would offer her money in it because they know that a lot of people watch her. It's not a lot, I'm assuming.
We can assume because Netflix don't give out their numbers. Or
They don't, but you get them ratings.
So
the
what-
ratings and or whatever the ratings,
the
the
stars,
thingy ratings,
yeah, the star
and the
rating.
ratings on that is not high.
And then there was another thing. Somebody else did black Twitter done some research, and they looked on
The blackest of Twitters.
Instagram followers. Monique doesn't have very many Instagram followers. Like she's in, I think it was 312,000, something like that. And then they compared it to Amy Schumer, who had got a couple of million. So from a business point of view, again, they would look at who you're potentially bringing to the platform by your followers. And if you haven't got that many followers, again, you lose clout.
Yeah, and I saw I didn't see the Charlemagne interview. I watched an interview on The View, and she was talking about the discussions that they had with Netflix, the negotiations, and she was saying that Netflix was saying, well, Amy has more bums on seats, and Monique's going, but I've got loads of followers. I got bums on seats. And he goes, no. What we're seeing right now is how hot Amy is right now. She will bring in the numbers.
That's what she's saying Netflix did.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's not saying before. What she's saying is, this is the problem that they said that they had. The husband, or daddy as she calls him, and Monique, was saying that Netflix came in and said, I think it's disgusting. Netflix came in and said, okay, Amy Schumer, if you look at her career and her resume and blah, 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 you know, she brings in large crowds for films. And they mentioned films.
And then she goes, but my resume though.
Yeah, but my films bring in a lot of money. And this is the problem. Again, this is problematic. She compared herself to a film that Amy Schumer did she was the star. Basically, the film was Amy Schumer's film, yeah? Compared the numbers. And Goldie Hawn, but it was Amy Schumer's film. I didn't even know Goldie Hawn was in the film. It's Amy Schumer's film, man. Who's the main character in that film?
I don't even know what the film is talking about.
That's the point. They're together. They go on holiday together. It's just the two of them.
Amy Schumer is the main character in that film.
Okay, right, fine.
But anyway, so basically, she's comparing herself to that, yeah? And she said that one, they took 42 million to make the film, and it only brought back 45 million. So it made 3 million in profit, which is fine. I get that. I understand that. Right? And she said, the film that I released at the same time, a Christmas film, yeah, Another Christmas or something like that, I can't remember what it's called, had bare people in it. Bare people, that's bigger stars than her still. Yeah. Made more money. But I'm thinking, did it make more money because of you, or did it make money because all of those stars
that was in it? Yeah.
She was just, the way she was doing her arguments was
she in a central role though? Was she in a central role?
I don't know what the film is.
It was an ensemble film, innit?
It's one of them ones where they're all in it.
Danny Glover's in it. It's a family, so the whole family.
It's a black family Christmas film.
Yeah.
And another thing that they was bringing up as well was the contract, and people were saying, she cannot, she can't do stand up for 2 years, she can't work for 2 years, and I'm like, that's bullshit as well. Yeah, because
she went down a road that she shouldn't have gone down.
They said that she can't use the special material again.
No, they never said that.
The material that she used in the special, she's not allowed to perform them again.
No,
where they can be recorded.
Exactly, that's the bit where it can be recorded. Yeah. All right. So I went to both Chris Rock show and Dave Chappelle show when they came to London, both of them, and I've watched all the specials that they both did. The jokes from one of Dave Chappelle's specials is exactly the same things he did in London. The one that Chris Rock just released is exactly the same thing he did in London. Yeah. The reason why he could do, and they came out before Netflix, by the way, yeah?
Yeah.
But the reason why, and I'll guarantee you, let me not guarantee you, I don't know. But I'm assuming they got the same clause in their contract because everybody would put that in their contract, no? But the difference is, when we went to Dave Chappelle and when we went to Chris Rock, you cannot even bring your mobile phone in the building because it cannot be filmed unless it's filmed by Netflix. You understand? So you can tell the jokes, you just can't film the jokes. Yeah. How does a comedian even though their joke is funny, if they don't tell the joke to somebody,
of course, they've got to do the. Who was it? I think it was Griff that was saying this, isn't it? That when the comedian goes out and they got new material, they have to try it out a certain number of times before.
Yeah, multiple times.
You do it all the time.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna tell you cannot go and perform. They're saying that you cannot film it and go and put a DVD out and then come and put the same thing.
I think that they have actually put out the contract. Actually, I think there's paper, but we don't know the ins and outs of the contract. So that's
I'm reading from the contract.
Yeah, it said but there were only 5 points on that contract, though, isn't it?
That's not the whole contract. That's like bits that they've taken out from the contract. Yeah. But it was, to me, it was just a stupid argument. She said to me,
"We're going to pay you $5,000.
I want more money." I would have said, "Yeah, you should ask for more money." And when she went on there and she was saying that Charlamagne gave a donkey of the day, and she was upset because I'm fighting for my rights. If Charlamagne had said the reason why he's giving a donkey of the day is because she wants to earn more than 500,000, I would say Monique's got every right to be saying, "Why are you calling me donkey of the day?" And to be honest, maybe that's me again. She's a big auntie. Why are you calling her a donkey? That's me. That's me. If you know her well and you're cool with her and she's a big woman like that, there's no reason to be calling her a donkey. You know that's problematic for me.
Hong.
But that's a Charlamagne. Charlamagne's disrespectful. That's how he is.
I think you were gonna say, but that's not the reason he said.
But yeah, that's also not the reason why he said it. Well, I don't know the reason why he gave a donkey. I didn't hear it.
He said the reason he gave a donkey of the day was because she was bringing up the bias that he didn't think was applicable.
Yeah.
So don't bring up this race and gender thing when other people of your race and gender are making money. Then you're trivializing the issue.
Somebody put on Twitter something. They said somebody put on Twitter, well, although Monique's caused a whole heap of problems for herself, I guarantee you right now. I guarantee you next time Netflix offer a deal to somebody, they're not gonna lowball them. And in my head, I was like, they might not even offer them a deal in the first place because of this.
Maybe. Mr. Wolf, before we started, you said you disagreed with Wahala. Are you still in that same vein, or what? Because you didn't get to discuss it because I stopped you. Is that right? Or now you realize you're on the same kind of wavelength for what?
Yeah, it was regarding to something completely different.
So are you talking about Oprah?
Oprah, yeah.
Do you want to get into the Oprah thing?
Yeah, I don't believe that Oprah's got a leg to stand on.
All right. So do you know about the Oprah thing?
No, go on.
Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain it?
I'll explain what I know. I've
Okay.
done a little bit of inside research on it. So Oprah and Monique have known each other since Monique was youngish, and she met Oprah Winfrey when she was young, and she basically said to her, "I want to be like you." And Oprah Winfrey came to her and said, "You can, but you have to work hard." It's a bit of a long story, so allow me to land, yeah? So over the time, Monique became famous with stand-up comedies and little films and what have you, and they continued to have a certain relationship. So Oprah Winfrey knows Monique, and she's known her for a long time. So at one stage, when Oprah Winfrey was doing her show, she says to Monique, "Look, in fact, let me go back a little bit. Monique has gone through some trials, tribulations, some issues in her life. I believe that she's been molested or raped or
She was
something."
molested by her brother.
Right. So she said that, Oprah said that, "I'm going to bring the person who molested you onto the show. Are you okay with that?" So she called her up as a friend and said, "Is it okay?"
Yeah, but first she
Monique-
asked her if she wants to come on the show and talk about it.
Yeah, so Monique
I think she did go on the show and talk about it.
No, she went on Barbara Walters' show. She didn't go on Oprah's show.
Monique
Okay.
said that you can do that, but I'm not going to have any part of it. Yeah. So the brother, I believe it's another person outside of her brother, by the way. The show starts, Monique's watching it with her husband. The guy is on the stage being interviewed, and then her brother comes on. Yeah, I believe it's someone else outside of her brother. She never knew her brother was going to come on. Then her mum comes on, and then her dad comes on. She's got particular beef with her mum and her brother and her dad. So Monique's issue is not that she called her. She thinks that was the right thing to do, but she never told her that her mum and the rest of her family were going to come on knowing that she was going to get a little...
Is this a recent thing?
No,
It happened. No, it's not
Years ago.
years ago. It happened last summer.
Okay.
No,
alright.
you know, it's not this.
Early last
Years
summer.
ago,
Oh,
bruv.
years ago.
Years ago.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the interview's years ago.
It's years ago.
All right.
And I think the person that molested her was her brother. And
There
that's
was
why
a
the-
younger brother
that
that
is-
molested her.
that is why the mum and dad are on the show in the first place. And they were on the show. They was in the crowd.
No, they was on. They
They
was
actually was
They
on the show.
actually
I
And
thought
then-
I saw the image. I saw them in the crowd. But
No,
okay,
they
fair
was
enough.
on- And the funny thing is, Oprah said, "I didn't know they were coming."
Yeah,
on."
Oprah tried to say she didn't know.
And that's the nonsense.
That's a
And
nonsense.
that was
That's
a
a complete
complete
nonsense.
That's
So-
a nonsense.
so
But that's,
basically-
hold on. But that's, again, we're only listening from one side. Because
True.
this is what Monique said. Yeah, this is what Monique said.
Yes.
Oprah's not said anything. She said, "I'm not involving myself in this argument."
Well, basically, Monique had approached Oprah, and Monique has had this thing that this is Oprah. So the first couple of encounters that she had with her was like, this is Oprah. I can't believe Oprah's actually calling me to say this and to say that. And then her husband said, "Look, she's taking the piss, basically, and you've got to either accept it or you need to deal with it." And that's where she started to be a little bit more vocal about it. And when she did confront Oprah Winfrey then said that I didn't know anything about it. So she's
Sounds like
basically...
this husband likes beef.
It's the husband's a
Well,
lot. My husband in the background is not.
yeah.
No, I don't
This
know.
husband,
Yeah, but-
like,
yeah, but the
he
thing
seems to
is-
be like the secret hand.
But the thing is that Oprah has lied to her by saying
Potentially.
that... Well,
Allegedly.
no, it's not potentially.
We don't know, bro.
Don't know.
There is no way on earth that Oprah, the biggest woman on the planet, has got this show and she doesn't know the people that's coming
You
on
don't
the
know
show.
if Oprah said that. Though. You're just assuming because Monique said she said that.
Yeah, that's one. And if you are bringing, I'm sure you've been on shows like that. If you're saying I'm a guest, can I have a couple of people tickets for people for the crowd? She's like, yeah.
They weren't part of the crowd.
They was on the show apparently.
Yeah, but
I thought they was part of the
if
crowd,
you-
but they was in the show.
Okay, all right, okay. But if, all right, let's say for instance, you're invited to come to the show and then your parents come on as well. You didn't invite them and it's like, can we put us on the show?
But that's not
You
what
might be
happened.
thinking, but it's rated.
They were on the show. They
Rated,
were on
isn't
the
it?
panel.
You don't listen before you stop and say that's not what happened. But okay.
Those are the two issues.
That
that
thing
she-
is that's
that-
not
that
the
she
issue
has.
I've got. I just said that I don't know whether or not she told her or not. That's not my. I don't know. I wasn't there in the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm
because there's so many stories going around about the whole situation. I mean, there was another story that Monique went to approach Oprah at one of Oprah's special soirees. You know, she has the
To go
the
and cuss her
Legends
down,
party or the White Party or whatever. She went to go and hunt her down at the party and have a discussion with her about the whole show situation.
Well,
Which is the wrong setting to do that, but you know.
If for me, if you got something to say,
You
come
pull
in,
up on man if you got
No,
something
but,
to say.
but you don't pull up.
bro.
You pull up when you can pull up in it. If she said that she spoke to her previous times before that and felt timid to say something, but then when you're in the big crowd now, you want to start making noise.
maybe that's where she feels that you're a comedian, isn't it? Most comedians is timid, you know.
Oprah would have told her, when were you married?
Jesus.
I told you I'm nothing.
Well, basically, that's what Oprah done. When she did approach her, she just basically, tapped her and said, you know what?
I'm clarting it off.
I'm clarting it
And
off.
I think after that, she just didn't respond to her the same way again. But then I think after that, she said that for our head, she said that Oprah, Oprah said to her, she was like, okay, fine. And then like what you said, the husband was like, they're taking a piss. And then she just started cussing Oprah down. So then Oprah just said, I'm not involved. I got too much money for this.
Would you really?
She's true, man.
Cuss Oprah though. She could
man.
switch your lights off, bruv.
Well, that's what she said happened. That they blackballed her.
Oh, so she feels that's why she's been blackballed.
That one and Lee Daniels. It's another thing with regards to
Who's Lee
Precious.
Daniels?
The one that did Precious
Did
and does
Precious,
Empire. Basically, when she did Precious, they wanted her to do some overseas promotion, and she refused to do it. And because she refused to
So
do
what
it,
are we saying
they
that
said she
Oprah's
was
doing the Harvey Weinstein?
difficult.
But then there's enough to
No, but the reason why is because she got paid
Get me.
25,000 for that film, and they wanted her to do that. They wanted her to
No.
pay for all her travel for the press thing.
She said she got paid 50,000 for the film.
Or was it? Oh, it was 50,000.
Yeah. And
She got a history of getting lowballed, didn't it?
Yes, that's the point.
That film,
no, but she said she was doing it for a friend because Lee Daniel was her friend. So I'm just doing a favor
It's
for
true,
my friend.
because
she got an Oscar for it, so that's what she's trying to get her money for now. So
Yeah,
she
but
better be happy to get that.
What she said on the View is that contractually she completed her contractual obligations doing the film. The promotion wasn't part of it.
No, it wasn't. And she
She
said, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not disputing it.
She
I'm
had, to
not
come out,
arguing.
she had to come out of her own pocket to do the tour.
No,
But the thing is, she said, I want to spend time with my family. I want to spend time with my kids. I'm tired. I've been doing shows as well as doing the film, so I don't want to do it. And then the Cannes people or the people on the promotion said, we will give you a higher grade hotel. He goes, no, it's nothing to do with that. I want to spend time with my family. I want to spend time with my kids. They came back again and said, we'll upgrade you to this. She said, no. Then they came back again and spoke to the husband. And the husband said, is there any money coming with that?
Oh, I see. So he is daddy. For
He is
real.
daddy.
Did she end up doing it in the end?
No, she didn't do it. And that's why she got, apparently that's why she got blackballed.
That sounds a bit extreme.
No, they were saying that and the Oprah thing that they both, because Lee Daniels and Oprah are meant to be close.
Yeah.
And then they blackballed
Well,
her.
okay,
And you know what? I'm not even going to dispute that they might have done that.
Maybe.
But then
they said she's had a history of being troublesome.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that she's troublesome. I don't know them, but it's the same thing I said with Mr. Wolf and Oprah. I don't know. I don't hear both sides of the story, so I'm not just gonna accuse the woman of being troublesome. I'm just gonna say that in this situation with the Netflix thing, she's doing it the wrong way.
All right then. So let's move on. What's the time?
1:30.
All right. So I'm just gonna bust some things quickly. We do our quick takes and then we're done because we don't want to be too long. Safaree nudes. Did any of you see the Safaree video?
One way stashing the money.
No way. His penis is hanging low.
I saw it.
Unfortunately, I opened Twitter a few days ago and I just saw bare jokes about Safaree. Oh, his music is alright. It's not so bad. Safaree. I was, what's Safaree trending? And he was trending. So I put Safaree in search. And unlike when I was looking for the video for what's her name?
It was.
As China.
Yeah, when I was looking for China, I couldn't find nothing. I put Safaree in. The third thing down was just penis.
I'm in a group with there's about 7 of us in the group. And
all men?
No, it's half and half.
Oh.
You get me? So we as guys
got one-
sometimes
One
post.
transgender in there.
We as guys sometimes post some pictures or whatever, and the girl must have posted this on Twitter, and it was just a guy with his things, and it was like flipping heck. You get me? So you're telling me that it's this
The
guy.
women have So Safaree, for those of you who don't know,
I have no idea who this guy
he
is.
You know
used
what?
to go out with Nicki Minaj before she was big.
Before she was with Nick Mill.
And during her come up, it's been said by many people that he's a ghostwriter, and he was a rapper himself. They were in a group together, and I think he kind of managed there. He kind of realized, you know what, you're better than me, or you have bigger potential than me. So he kind of molded her
and it's a Jamaican straight.
Yeah, he kind of molded her to be what Nicki Minaj is. I think everybody kind of agrees with that. He kind of pushed her in that direction, decided maybe.
So what does he do now?
Well, now he's on
Love and
Hip Hop, and he's just about releasing a new rap song.
So he's had music before.
Yeah. Like I said, they were in a group together
before
they were big.
Popular.
I didn't know who this
No,
Safaree
he was
yeah.
never big. He was never big.
I thought
He was always
a woman.
behind the scenes.
Was
Safaree?
But when I saw in our group, have you seen the Safaree nudes? I thought, there's another. You know how we always look at the nude pictures. I thought, there's a nude woman.
Hey, who's we, fam?
Hey.
When will you marry?
Brethren, the
Sorry,
talk about them
yeah,
things
go on,
that
go
to
on,
me,
go on,
you
go
know.
on.
So I was thinking, where's the link? Where's the link? No link come up. I thought, shall I go look for this? And I couldn't be bothered to look for it. And I thought, I'll find out later on tonight
Well, you saved
on
yourself.
the podcast.
Well done.
And then it's just because now you said it's a man. I'm like, what the fuck? Who
No wonder the
cares?
link wasn't in a group, bro.
No, but the women have gone
Mad.
ape over it.
But they got chocolate city over it.
Because
They've never
they're
seen
saying
a
that
big dick before.
they're quite happy with the size and shape of the thing. And the jokes I got, and first of all, you see some men all getting upset. Like,
I don't know why
Why
they
you
would do
women?
that.
Was man
Penis
getting
is
upset?
penis,
Some men
man,
get upset.
sure.
innit? Oh, you women, why you blah blah blah?
Oh,
Acting
allow
like
it, man.
the women were
Double
having
standards.
Yeah, they were having fun. They
It
were
was hilarious.
like, you know what? All this, no, I'm going out and, you know, independent woman. No, I'm staying at home and cooking whatever you need.
for
You
real.
see memes of, because he's a Jamaican, he's like, I don't even think his accent's even that strong.
He's
but
not,
for
he's not.
for an American, he's like super strong. So you had like female comedians, you know, these ones that post these little videos, dressing up in a Jamaican, like, I can cook you curry and goat and everything, and just putting on fake accent, like, I'll do whatever you need, just give me the thing.
So at least I cooked
Did we say
so
something
much.
about the dick in a few episodes ago?
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
catching so
The
much joke.
jokes that the women tossed out that day was hilarious.
Because before this,
Because it's
people,
true.
People
That's
like Safaree as a joker because he's quite likable. People quite like Safaree.
Yeah, but you mock him because he.
Yeah, because he's a bit like a jester, and people always like,
I
why?
don't know about Jester.
Nah,
You
he
laugh
fu-
at him.
Nah, if you, yeah,
You
so
laugh
said,
at him.
what do you do with a jester?
No, but a Jester invites that. No, there's a difference between a comedian.
No, but
and a
that's how
jest-
he. Do you don't watch Love and Hip Hop and all this stuff? He behaves a bit like he wants people to laugh at him, basically. Yeah? So I think after the Nicki Minaj thing, people was cussing it because she's like, "Why are you with this lame dude?" Like blah blah blah. Because she was with him for a long time before she went to meet Will.
bruv.
That's what they were saying. Now it's like
Because
now
of the
we don't
wood,
want.
bruv.
There was one video of him where I don't know where it comes from, where he comes in because he used to do a backup dancer, and he goes, "I got this new dance move," and he does this mad dancing, and I don't know what happened. But the way she looked at the camera, she went like this. So he did this dance move, all of this business, and then walked off, and she just went like this.
Yeah, I saw
You
that.
need to see that clip because and people. I want to explain this to you. He had walked out of the room and came back and said, "Oh, I thought this new dance move," and he did a 5-second thing, and then picked up his bag and walked out again. And the way she looked at, like, you could see in her head, like, why am I with this man? Why did he do that in front of a camera?
And she's with him because of the wood. The
Okay,
same
that's-
reason why that doctor weren't beating his wife properly. You get
Dickmatized.
me? If he was beating her properly, then
Which
she
doctor?
would take out the trash.
Okay.
Wow.
So, anyways, I just want to say to the men out there that were getting butthurt about this: let the women have their fun.
Isn't it, man?
It's a bit of joke,
Get me?
and if you feel what's the word when you feel
Pressed.
Uncomfortable.
Emasculated.
when if you feel that he's bigger than me, why is a woman joking about this?
Penis envy.
Yeah, that type of thing, man. Just take the L, bruv. That's such his life, man.
I was gonna say eat the dick.
Oh, hell
Take
no.
the dick, man. It's all right. Take it.
Easy,
I don't think it's those
easy,
ridiculous,
easy,
but it was
big
funny,
fat.
man.
Yeah.
It was a lot of jokes. But okay, the question I was gonna ask actually about this though, because this has made him big now. He's bigger now because of his dick.
No
Yeah.
pun intended.
No pun intended. Yeah, than before, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we had a conversation the other day about doing things for the team.
No.
So you wouldn't do it if you
Of
knew
course
that
not.
if you knew that it was gonna blow and you were gonna get
No.
bare money from it, you wouldn't bring out your things and swing it a bit.
No.
I would hurricane that dick all over the place. Hurricane,
Helicopter.
spinning bird kick. You see me just spinning it round, boy.
If it was guaranteed, probably.
If I'm gonna guarantee some money and my missus is not all right with this thing.
No, but Yeah, exactly.
I'll be swinging the
Yeah,
dick,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'll be walking, strutting down the street.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Simple.
dun,
The
dun,
dreads. What are you gonna do?
Nah, I wouldn't be swinging the dick because if I'm swinging the dick, I would want to be able to bang as well, and the missus not gonna have that. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. It's the whole moral thing.
5 million.
Wahala. It's the
Come
whole
to your yard.
It's the moral thing.
For
wahala.
5 million, she'll bring out the dick for you. Boy.
Basically, this is a
Would you be
stripper.
okay
She'll cream it
with?
for you as well, so it looks presentable.
Would you be okay with anybody you know bringing the titties out? You
Of
know?
course not.
That actor, would you swing
What
the
the
dick?
hell no?
No.
Put your tea away.
But you would take out the dick.
Yes. I probably wouldn't know me as well. No, me, I'll get to the thing. I'll be timid. I'm not
All
doing
right,
it.
just a couple of
It's
points.
cold in here.
Yeah,
A
I
couple
know
of points of news. This was sent in by our nephew. So
Okay.
I just want to mention it because if we don't, it's going to be old news. So one of them is that the Golden State Warriors, who won the NBA season
oh yeah, I know about this.
last year. So if you don't know, when you win the NBA, the championship, and the NFL, the championship, you get to meet the president. So you're usually formally invited to go and meet the president. The team goes there, you take a picture.
You go to the Caucasian house.
Yes. The what's it? The colonizer's
Colonizer's
house.
house.
Colonizer.
Colonizer. So they I think as a team they said they ain't going. So I'm only going by what you sent me actually. So I haven't actually done the research.
Yeah,
but they said they ain't going, and they went and took a bunch of children to the African American history museum instead.
Yeah.
That is great.
Fire.
Much better.
I'm
That
gonna
is
play
very
a
great.
video, yeah.
Oh,
And
fuck
no, do you know why? I'll tell you why. And Simple Simon.
See, I'm trying to brush through things quickly.
No.
Can I ask you a question
I think
after?
it's appropriate. You can ask me afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Just play the thing quickly. Just 1 second.
I'm taking the odds on how, like,
Irrelevant the video is.
yeah.
He ain't even found the video.
I know what it is. What's this? Can you play this at the end when you're saying your goodbyes?
has to be played though.
Yeah, but play it at the end.
It's not even working.
There's no
You know,
sound to
all right,
that.
it's done, man. It's done. It's done.
It's not even working.
Did you send round an image about this butter with HIV in it?
He's such
You
a
No.
said it, didn't you? You said it, didn't you?
You got it from who though?
got it from
Like
my
from your
mum.
aunties.
And I got it for TBX as well, actually. I had to tell it to TBX and say, oh, come on, bruv. I know you're old, but you're getting too far. We can't be sending these around.
TBX man, hold out your boy man. You're not even sending me no spam. I ain't get no messages from you.
TBS be like, no, but bro, you got to be careful the bottom.
Now, when I sent him the whole thing, his story, he's like, I see. But I just wanted to know if Mr. Wolf said it, because I know that's the type of thing he likes to be said there. Oh, my God. He's still playing it. What is this thing? Is that Martin Luther King Day?
Who would you say are the biggest clubs in the world right now? Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Is that what you wanted to play?
Personally, for me, it would be in between Arsenal or...
And the reason why I'm playing this, bruv.
It's not a real video, you know.
I know, bruv. I know what it is, mate. This week, I will mention football this week
Yeah, but
because
why
it's
can't you
appropriate,
Mention
yeah?
it at the end bit.
Bruv, we're coming towards the end, man.
But
What's the big
we
deal?
was going on another topic, innit? But anyway, go on.
I thought this was the end. But anyway, Arsenal have lost 2 games in the space of 3 or 4
No.
days. And you've
We've
been
lost.
battered, bruv.
We've lost 3 games in the space of a week or something.
Yes, that's right.
Who was the third?
That I don't even know their names, bro.
You can't remember, innit?
Osterend.
Oh, that was the Europa League game, innit?
Yes. Osterend.
Damn
Yeah,
shame.
Arsenal are shit, man.
Arsenal are a
I have no
crying
problem in
shame
saying that.
right now,
Arsenal are
bruv.
shit.
A crying shame. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And if any of the Arsenal man out there in podcast land want to call in and, you know, if
Can
you
they call
need
in?
any, well, call, email, tweet, whatever.
Call Mr.
Listen,
Wolf.
just call us and we'll offer you some counselling, man.
Well, you lot
Seriously.
can offer us counselling because this is usually your life, innit? So anyway,
What life is
I
that?
can't believe man actually just intersected.
I thought we were done, bro.
Because you're not listening. You're too busy looking for the video to talk instead of listening.
it's the fact he couldn't play it. That's the thing. I was
that bit gave me a
Say
pleasure. I
your
won't lie,
subject,
though.
man. I just love the fact that Arsenal are crying right now.
All right, so we were talking about Golden State Warriors and taking them to the museum.
Yeah, well, we said that's a
We
beautiful
finished that
thing.
one, yeah.
And there's a wrestler, a woman, a girl. I think it's 17.
I read
18,
this too.
and she's going through hormone treatment because she wants to become a man. She wants to wrestle
Transgender.
men, but she's not allowed because on the birth certificate it says she's a woman and you can only
I don't care.
wrestle in that thing. But she's undefeated in wrestling women, and obviously there's
Is this
uproar in-
WWE or actual wrestling?
Is
no,
it-
like
is-
Roman Greco kind
Is
of
it
wrestling.
is it illegal for what she's doing, or does it go against the rules?
No, it's not.
Then I don't care.
Well, kind of in a funny kind of way, it does go against the rules because she's in performance enhancement.
But it's not, because that means if they know that she's doing it and they're still letting her do it, then obviously it doesn't go against the rules.
Yeah, but it's because it's a grey area, isn't it?
Well, it's not a grey area. Either you can use it or you can't.
Well, I say it's a grey area because she's
Testosterone's gonna make you stronger.
exactly.
Yeah, but either you can use it or you can't.
I think they can't tell you not to take it in regards to
Your
having a sex change,
becoming a-
because
having a
then
sex
that's what
Discrimination.
Yeah,
Yeah, but to go into the sport of wrestling men when legally you're a woman, not having it.
So she's in a grey area
I
because
don't see it as being grey. I see it as black and white. You can either take the drugs or you can't.
I don't.
You can't take the drugs,
Do
so
you
she
take
can
the
do it.
You
drugs?
can take the drugs,
no,
but
do
you can't
take-
play.
Do you
Can't
take
play
the
with
drugs?
us.
Do you take the drugs
can't play with
over a
No, she
long
can't play with
period?
men.
Do you take the drugs over a long
yes,
period
yes,
of time?
yes. You're gonna be taking it for the rest of
Look at me like that.
their life.
for the rest of her life.
For the rest of their life,
Okay.
because they need
But
to.
then in
they
that
need to
case,
keep it
it's
up.
cheating. Then you can't do it.
But they
I
can do it.
thought
That's why
that
she
I
can do it.
thought that when you have your sex change or whatever, you take your your male enhancement pill or whatever it is, and then you stop. If that's the case,
If you still
then-
go back
then-
to being,
Yeah, you have to keep taking
Your natural thing
your
will kick in.
testosterone.
It's a suppressor.
I don't know these things, man.
It's a suppressant
Don't knock
and
me for not
additive.
knowing.
So it suppresses the female hormones and boosts the male one. So you have to. It's one of those. It's like treatment.
It's a drug that
You-
if men
once you
take,
start, you gotta go for the
if
rest
you're
of
a
your life.
man and you take that, you're considered
might
to
get-
be a cheat
I don't know. Yeah.
No, but
because it makes you stronger.
yeah, but the problem is here. She's not taking it to make her stronger.
I
She's
know.
taking it for
to suppress the estrogen.
completely different reasons. So it's a thing where, as much as it's almost like a performance enhancing drug by proxy rather than by choice.
If I was the other girls, I would just boycott wrestling now. I'm done.
They should strip her title, really.
If that's
No,
what I
no,
felt,
no.
if I felt that much that
No, but
she's got an
she's-
advantage, and I don't think that the people around me are protecting me, I would just say I'm not wrestling now.
Well, the
No, but
ego,
she's looking to
but she doesn't
wrestle
wanna
men.
wrestle
She
women
wants
yeah,
to
but
wrestle
they're
men.
not going to let.
They're not letting her wrestle men, so they
whatever-
keep letting her wrestle the women, and
Yeah.
she's battering all the women. So as far as I'm concerned, if I feel like she's got an unfair advantage, and the powers that be are not prepared to get involved in changing that unfair advantage, I'll just say
Has
I'm
she
not
has
fighting
she
her.
had the sex change already?
No, she's on the road to.
Yeah,
On
I
the
think
road
you need to start taking
again.
these drugs first, and then I think you get to a level where, and they do mental coaching as well, as like years of kind of discussing it with you
I
and
wonder
whatnot.
he's like a counselor for those kind of things. But
Normal counselor.
Isn't
When you actually, this is a good question. You see, when somebody is going into the sex change thing and they have to do the counselling, yeah, what would a counsellor teach a person who's transitioning from woman to man about being a man? Because you have to kind of learn.
They'll show
That's what I'm
Safaree's nude pics.
that's what I was saying.
That's how you
it's
swing
like,
at it.
what,
And would they
what do
get-
you do? You know,
Would a woman get a male counselor or a female counselor?
You know,
Raw, yeah.
Who do you think would handle it better?
What?
The transition.
What, men changing to women or women changing to men?
Yeah.
Ooh, I reckon women will handle it better. I think they got easier life when they change into men, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Once a man turns into a woman, if especially if you actually look like a woman, you're opening up a whole can of worms that you never had to deal with in your life.
But if a man turns into a woman, a man wouldn't have a menstrual cycle, would he?
No.
No,
What's that got to do with anything?
He'd have it easy, wouldn't he?
that's not the
Guy,
only.
choker, you know.
That's not the only thing. You know, as a woman, you have to deal with. But anyways,
and you can stop your menstrual cycle as a woman as well. Just take the pill.
And you don't go through menopause.
Ooh, interesting.
When will you marry?
all right, guys. I think we'll stop it there. I was gonna big up a fellow new podcast.
Yes.
Link it to Mr.
Yes.
Wolves in the city.
I don't even.
Wolves in the city.
Let's leave it, man.
I don't know.
We don't even know nothing about it. We don't
That's
know.
what
how
I'm saying, man. Leave it alone, man.
Synopsis and everything.
Carrie, Samantha, Miranda.
It's not really a topic.
All right, I'll just say Mr. Wolf is starting up his own podcast. And
No, I'm not
Oh,
starting
so,
up my own podcast.
okay. Sorry,
In fact, I
sorry,
might
sorry.
do actually. You know,
Are you not part of this podcast?
Well,
I would love to see Mr. Wolf's own podcast.
See it or hear it.
Whatever it is.
yeah, man.
It would just be
It'll
bare,
be on him and his
bare
iPad.
quotes.
Him and his iPad.
And pictures. Here's a picture of me at
Let me play this video. Now let me play this other video that's not linked to the last video.
Yeah, I got another video for the man.
You see what I'm saying? It's
I'm only
Okay,
joking.
okay.
I'm only joking.
He's an uncle, man.
All right,
Uncle Wolf.
let's do our church notes and our goodbyes.
Legend.
Big Wala. Let's go around the other direction.
At Big Wahala, Twitter, at Big Wahala and Insta. I'm still early again today, but I'm gonna do it anyway. This week I have.
Come here early. We did it Friday last week.
Yeah, but I didn't give you the thing last week, did I? But it's 1, 2, 5, which I think is the same one was beginning of this week anyway. When I did the tweet, innit?
Yeah.
So yeah, so 1, 2, 5.
All right.
I'll be less when I get to the time that I did the other one.
Oh, okay.
But I'm to be honest, I just don't. This week I just didn't care. I didn't go to the gym. I went to the gym twice and I did like.
You look
exercise
slim
like
already,
once.
man. Your head,
I'm
your head actually
Your head
gets
doesn't
smaller.
look small, yeah.
Trust
his
me,
head, his head shrinks when he
Bruv,
gets slimmer.
When I do my belt,
And,
yeah.
your nose ain't as broad.
When I
No, his nose is bigger
like pregnancy nose.
because his nose hasn't changed shape.
Oh my God.
pregnancy nose.
You know when they're at like 8 months and they're about to, drop. That's when the nose gets
the spread,
big.
boy.
To get the
I think it's the
Roll
last couple of weeks, isn't
full,
it?
the full
And the
spread,
nose
boy.
just
Anchor,
spreads
boy.
like a bum, boy.
But trust me, but my belt is when I'm noticing things. Like I should really do the weight and do the waist thing as well, like waist thing, because my belt is. I put it on the thing and I need to put like another 2 or 3 holes in the
The
thing
waist
to get,
what?
to
A
get
waist
tight.
trainer.
No,
No,
well,
with the belt.
No, no, like a
You taking dicks?
You know.
No, I'm just saying.
Why
Like,
would you
what's it
take
called?
a belt and go all the way to waist trainer? He's talking about losing weight and there's a difference with his belt. You talk about waist trainer. You're taking shots, bro.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, so
1,
yeah,
2, 5.
1, 2, 5.
All right. Simple Simon.
Yes, it's at Simple Simon FB on Twitter. I don't have any of the other handles. I'm gonna plug again the Revolution of the Fairy Tale. It's down at the Burnley Grant Art Centre. Exhibition will be on until the 20th of March. Go down there, support the thing. It's free admission. That is FREE, free admission. That means you're not paying the money.
No, paying a blood clot.
Yes. So
Goddamn 47.
go down there and have a look at it. That's in Tottenham. If you look on their website, you'll be able to see what's going on there with that. Yep.
Let me do my thing now then. So to switch up a bit. Stavros says this week is to get I just thought, let me just do it differently for once, man. Rather than, I don't want to always be the special when I'm last.
Just say your thing, man.
So Stavros says is the section where I recommend something, and this week it is reusable mugs.
Huh?
Reusable cups, containers to hold your tea or coffee or whatever you get
Are you
from
talking
these
about
shops.
when you say reusable mugs?
Ones
You know,
that-
most people are gonna think you're talking about normal glass mug.
No.
that you reuse all the time.
When you go to Costa and Starbucks and you get your coffee, they give it to you in these plastic containers or whatever, or wood or paper containers. But these things are not recyclable. So I'm saying that we need to be more conscious of the world that we're living in
Environment.
and the environment. So what you can do is buy a reusable one. A lot of these shops actually sell it themselves, whether it's £1 or £2, or you can go online and get something a bit more fancy, 5, 10. They go up all the way up to £30.
I like
but
the
the
plastic, like a bit like flasks, yeah.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah, I've seen
Or
one.
it
I've
could
seen
be
a Starbucks
or
one.
not even kind of, yeah. Some of them are flash,
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
them
I've
look
seen
exactly similar to thing, but they're made that they're a bit more durable. But when you go into the shops now and you use your own, whether it's flask or whatever, you get money off. So when you go to Pret and you get your drink,
And
you
you'll
get
be able to
you get
for you to
yeah,
do.
you get 50p off at Pret, you get 25p off at Starbucks, you get 25p off at Costa, 25p off at Paul, 20p off at Greg's. The reason I'm saying this is because they're doing it as an incentive for you to help the environment. So it helps the environment. It also helps you. You can get something pretty or nice or whatever, something that matches your personality. Put it in your bag or your purse, and it can help the environment and get money off your drinks
Can you
as
fit
well.
that in your purse, bro?
That links.
Yeah, of course.
It links.
See the size of the bags that the women is using.
And it links to the Jamaican proverb I used in the beginning, which is every make will make a mark, every mark will make a dime. Every little piece of money you see, even make a pound here and a pound here.
And you still got the phlegm when you're saying it this time
Bro,
again as well.
I don't know what going on for the
when
thing,
he's putting
cuz.
on his the lingo, the phlegm comes with it.
Yeah, see me.
This is superpower.
Talk from the back of my throat, rotted.
All right, I am Stavros Boss, and you can catch me at Stavros Boss on all social medias. I'm there. Holler at me. Don't get offended by what I might say. We have that actor to say his church notes and goodbyes.
Yeah, Instagram, that actor, Twitter, that actor.
How do you spell that, by the way?
DATACTOR. That's how you spell it. I want to give a quick shout out to Cop Films. Made a film in 7 days and 7 nights, feature film. Shadow Group Productions, Fleeting Images, and Keep It Real Productions.
Whoop, whoop.
So yeah, British drama coming soon. Keep an eye out for that. And also want to give a shout out to Aisha Scott and Laurel Jones for their film Absent. about absent fathers and broken homes.
Bastards.
That film is coming out soon as well. There is a Indiegogo fund me page on Facebook and on Instagram. Just tag #absent and it will come up.
Yeah,
Also,
big up yourself. Go.
you ready?
No, go on.
Okay. Also, when we're recording at One Stop Dreadlock Shop, make sure you decide if you want to go, start getting locks to come down to at One Stop Dreadlock Shop on Hornsley Road, and check her out on Black Hair Magazine UK.
Big.
At least this time I didn't get cut off.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
We have to mention before we go that we
I
were
was going
on.
to do that.
Okay, then. Sorry, Mr. Wolf. Church notes and goodbyes.
My church notes are aka Mr. Wolf on Instagram and aka _ Mr. Wolf at Twitter. And yes, what Stavros was going to say is that we were on Dotun Adebayo. Let's say the name right. On his BBC One London show.
BBC London Radio.
BBC London Radio. And you can catch us on that on BBC iPlayer. It was 8 o'clock last Sunday.
It was the
a good
25th of the 3rd.
25th
of February.
25th of last month.
Of February edition.
And big shout out to Linda, the producer of the show, and also Akuya from British Black List. And there were 2 other guests on there. One of their name was Sharika, and for the life of me, I can't remember the other girl's name. But both of them, Miss Murray. Thank you, sir. And Miss Murray deals with
Murray was a middle name.
assisting parents to parent, and Sharika is dealing with young people going through certain issues. But both of them were fantastic on the show, and I think that we was even better. But yeah, BBC iPlayer. we were great. You got to large up yourself. BBC iPlayer, 25th of February. Yeah, and catch us on there, man. It's wicked. Dotun Adebayo show.
The show will be available on a replay for 30 days from the 25th of February. So when is that? That's just before the end of March.
Simple wasn't on it, so it's a better show.
That's probably true.
And Wahala tried to do the blackest thing at the end of the show.
Did you actually listen to the show, bro?
No, I haven't heard it.
He tried to promote his woman's hair shop on this debate program.
And this is after Dotun.
I segued it nicely though.
No, you didn't segue it nicely.
This is after he said that, yeah, promote anything you want. This was in the middle of the show, on a break. Promote whatever you want. And come on, bruv.
Wow,
You got
try
murked,
to see.
bruv.
Listen.
He thought when somebody came on, and obviously he knows that, one of the ladies, like he said, deals with parents. One of the ladies deals with young women that are going through trauma, and we have our podcast. When he said promote yourself. He didn't say promote whatever you want. He said promote yourselves.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Big
during
up
the break.
Tyrone on there.
Yeah, exactly. That is what Wahala did.
Bring up Ray.
Yeah, big up Tyrone, big Ray.
Let me tell you
Cell
something.
Block C.
Let me tell you
Cell Block
something.
C, the
Let me
house.
tell you something, yeah? Let me
What's
tell you
up?
something.
I love
Let me tell you something, yeah?
London Style Crips.
They say that black men don't support black women. I embarrassed myself trying to support mine to the point where I got locked off. You gave me say, yeah, my missus got a salad. Locked off.
That was funny.
I went out of my way to try and support my woman.
Big
Fam.
Wahala got lock off.
Is that what happened? He got
Got locked off. Cut off.
Cut off right at the end as well, boy.
He
Cut
said,
off.
so we can promote.
Even to the
Yeah.
point that
My
the
wife,
family, the family in the WhatsApp group even mentioned it and were creasing
They
it.
were laughing at me, man. My missus knew I was trying to ride for her though, man.
That's good,
I
man.
was trying to ride for my missus.
Oh my days.
At One Stop Dreadlock Shop, bitch.
Man got locked off.
All right, so thank you very much for listening to ESN Podcast. The socials for us once more is at ESN Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter. Facebook, search for Eloquently Saying Nothing. Join us on the group and we post information on there and new episodes. You can find us on YouTube as well. We are there. We don't put up any video at the moment. At some point we may do. Mr. Wolf is bang on getting video for us. And actually a lot of people say, oh, if you had videos... in fact, because the people on this show, they were like, oh, we'll listen to you. We were telling them who we are. And then they said, what's SoundCloud? No, I don't have iTunes. Blah, blah.
Seems to be the older generation.
YouTube. Oh, yeah. Give me the YouTube link. It's like, so, we posted the YouTube link. So you can find us there. Use the hashtag ESN Pod to comment on everything. I really want to hear your views on what we discussed when we first started about inviting the women on. So please let us know what your views on that are. And I think that is everything. So thank you very much for listening to episode 62 of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. We are out.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life.
Oh, na, 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 na.
Wakanda.
Damn
Oh,
right.
na, 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 na.
Wakanda.
Oh, na, 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 na.
Wakanda.
Na, 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 na.
They talk about promise.
And the moral sister Naomi,
They told them claims to them know me. Throw me.
Hold on. Can someone tell me in English what the podcast is?
No idea.
It's about Romy and his boring sister Naomi.
the two of them claim they know me. What's the matter?
You know what I said? You know what I said? It's all about warring. And every man sing by them yawning. That's what I said. And I kill them sing by them yawning. And I read them throw me.
So it's a joking song.
Never show me. I never come and something.
That's what you need to do every week for me. Translate it to English.
Yes, that should be a section. Translate the Bashman song to English.
Alright, I'll do that. Nice.
Yeah, so in your intro, you do a Bashman song and then you translate it to English.
Yeah.